Good evening and welcome everyone to the official coverage of Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 5. It is round 7. We are at the Hungaroring. It's all brought to you obviously by the regulars Nortec, Trek 31, Titanium Digital Solutions, True to Life Racing, Cossie 43, Match Fit Entertainment Broadcasting, and I'm Davo. And I have my good friend, J-Man, back in the booth after a little bit of a whirlwind tour. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, Davo. Good. It's great to be back, mate. And good to be back here on a Monday night with Matchfit and yourself. And looking forward to this round 7 at Hungaroring, Hungary. So, mate, good looking field out there already. 27 cars look like they've turned up tonight. Some very familiar names. The odd, not the odd, definitely nothing odd, but I just picked up on a new name in there earlier on. I'm not sure if I can still see it in there, but I think we'll give a shout out to Jason Leonard Scott, the 41 car, Aston Martin, I believe. Welcome aboard to the events tonight and obviously the live broadcast. So back to you, Davo. We want to kick this show off and looking for a big one here tonight. I'm excited about it. Obviously, a couple of weeks away, as you mentioned.
Couple of weeks away, yes. So it's only just a quick fire 90-minute race, Jay. It'll be a walk in the park, brother. You'll fit right in. Rusty and JB have been keeping the seat warm for you. So
and calling the big ones.
And calling some big stuff. So, but look, glad to have you back as you would expect, and back here at Rainlight Racing for round 7 at Hungaroring. Yes, like we we're going to mention, we are on the Super Sprint race again tonight. So 90 minutes, the walk in the park for us at least. Anyway, J-Man, maybe not for these boys here. Pretty twisted little track, Hungaroring. No CPS as far as I know, and the usual qualifying session split up here with a little bit of a twist. I think they're going to run the AMs with the Pro-Am boys again tonight, but the boys still in driver brief, which will give us a bit of a chance to check out some points, maybe, J-Man.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So we'll start at the top end of town for the boys and girls out here tonight who have got this far. Obviously missed the call last week, but we are halfway through the season here. And bit of a shuffle round since I've been away. And interestingly enough, the number 3 car, the Phil Antoon, aka Maverick car, up there in P1 on 341 points over Chaplin Chan, who's been very, very consistent as we look across those results there. Some really, really solid points hauls right throughout the season so far. Chris Curley in there. Obviously, I was away last week, but got a big donut for last week, which you wouldn't expect to see for somebody like Chris Curley. However, it's paved the way for Chaplin and Mav to do the business and get up there. Brandon Webley in there, P4 over Matt Dayton in the Honda, one of the lonely Hondas out there in the field this season. Not too many of them. We don't see too many of them around the traps. Will Dixon in there. Very, very good round for Will Dixon as well by the look of it last week over Gaz Eddy, who did not have such a good week last week. And then Matty T back again tonight there. Looking for a better result as well because we've seen the strong performances out of Matty in the previous week. Steve Crosslin in there still holding that P9, still inside the top 10 overall here over Kostas Makrolos, who did not have a great round last week either. So that rounds out the 10. However, big names after the fact, 11, 12, 13, 14, the likes of Henderson, Foddo, T-Fam, Vic Chan, Nick Firth, Harrison Ballard, like these guys, anywhere all the way up to probably, as I look down the list, to 23. Pete Dawson obviously had a good round last week. Pete's missed a few rounds this season. due to other commitments. But some big names that can upset the points hauls throughout the night, Davo. Anything else you want to add to that? Any surprises you can see there?
Well, the only surprise I've got is that I'm having some technical issues. So we're just going to stop it right there and see if we can address things before the boys roll out to qualifying, which is fast approaching. So bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can fix this.
Sounds good.
Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. A few little adjustments there, as usual.
Bit of a tune-up, mate. Just a quick dyno run.
A little bit of a tune-up there. As the boys start to roll out for qualifying, J-Man.
Yeah, so as forementioned, Davo, you did call it. We will see the Pro and the Pro-Ams and the Ams run this first 15 minutes together, running it right down to that final second at that 15-minute mark so that they can get those final laps in. Just having a look at conditions out there, Davo, and they do look rather favourable from where I'm standing. I think we do probably, based on the numbers, I think have approximately a 15% chance of rain throughout this race weekend, and looking at the algorithm, maybe towards the back end, I'm not sure.
Yep.
Looks pretty good at the moment. Optimum track, 23 degrees ambient with 29 track is a pretty good scenario for some pretty quick times.
Not too bad. That's right. Getting up there a little bit in track temp, but not too bad.
Yeah, so maybe back into those mid 43s again. We might see some, I don't know, what's the likes of the big boys maybe run as low as a 43.5 somewhere,
maybe. Yep. We'd be heading in that direction, that's for sure.
4.8 Ks here tonight at the Hungaroring. I believe we have got 8 to the right, 6 to the left, and it was a big 38th birthday for this track yesterday. Track was opened 24th of March 1986, so happy birthday, Hungaroring.
Happy birthday, and what better way to celebrate than smashing out 90 minutes in some GT3 muscle here tonight for Rainlight Racing. James, who's your eyes on at the moment as we just the cameras pick up on Jacob Wadsworth?
Yeah, so I was watching Jacob there in the Lamborghini, but then I picked up on the PPR car of Ashton Hughes, and be interesting to see. I think the Astons probably should be favourable here tonight with these change of directions here through the likes of 6-7. The PPR cars are running line astern out on track at the moment. Currently coming around the mid-sector, Sector 2 at the moment, those two well-presented Astons. So obviously I'm expecting Ashton to fire a number in there for this class. As Louis just giving us a shout out, maybe some high 42s. Yeah, that's impressive if we see that. I mean, the track conditions are good, so it will certainly be impressive to see a high 42, but I think probably high 43s would be pretty good for anybody in the current classes running now, but maybe low 44s, we'll see. Ferrari is a solid car on this track here. Once again, another car that doesn't mind changing direction. So 45.9, Jacob Wadsworth banks a time in there. Mr. Turbot banks one in pretty close behind, but T-Fam goes and smashes one in there, 44-1. So as we mentioned, high 43, low 44s could be on the cards for this Pro-Am and Am class, Davo. Phil Davison in there, about to punch a number as well. Okay, he was a little bit off that one.
So Davison across the line. Is that Gunther Rowe just tucked in behind him as well there, J-Man?
Yeah, I think it was actually.
Yep. So Gunther sliding down the field a little bit as some of the quick boys roll through, aka T-Fam, Jacob, Craig McConnell. Would have seen Firthy's name up there already too, J-Man, just looking at pre-race practice as well.
He's about to bank one, mate, and it should be pretty handy.
Oh yeah, he's got a couple of seconds on his delta. There it is. So across the line as we speak.
So top 3 times separated by nothing at the moment. 44.13, 44.16, 44.18. Sorry, that's a 45.18. Apologies. So top 2 times, very, very close. And then we drop into the Craig McConnell there with a 45.1. But Jacob Wadsworth looking for a big improvement to drop maybe into the high 44s this lap around if he gets this thing across the line.
Oh yeah, just pops it into third position there with a 45.0. J-Man knocking Bella back into 5th.
Okay, so Matt Dayton, you got to back yourself, mate. We know how well you can go in that Honda, but Matt Dayton there, for those who can't see the chat, picking that Maverick Webley for P1. And yeah, Firthy is doing a great job out there at the moment. Pressing on 3/10 up his sleeve would be certainly enough to drop into the 43s. But however, T-Fam with a 43.6 is a very, very good time straight off the bat.
Absolutely. Gunther actually picking up the pace a little there too. J-Man in the brick. The Gorilla Racing R35 there. Firthy again, he's got a good, healthy looking delta there, J. That could put him up a spot, and he's actually just coming around that second to final corner. He's bled off a little bit of time there.
Yeah, I mean, they can bleed it and then gain it back depending on the entry exit to that final turn, and he's actually going to get a little bit back, so he'll be close. 43.8 keeps him in P2 provisionally.
Ashton, well, up Ashton Hughes as well, like you mentioned there earlier on. Definitely one to watch in that Aston Martin.
Oh, that's a shame. I was just watching Phil Davison there with a great delta, and not sure what happened there, but he pulled out of that in the 777 Esports 773 BMW. So only his second round here at Rainlight, but yeah, it was looking good for a solid time. So he still has got another tour. Hang on, no, we're 15 minutes, aren't we? So yeah, he's got a bit of time left up his sleeve yet. Firthy looking good in the Ferrari. He's got a couple of tenths up his sleeve and building.
Jacob Wadsworth also one to watch there, J-Man.
Yep.
Getting a bit of a wriggle along in the Lamborghini now. So these guys are really putting themselves in good stead with some good stout times here.
You're about to look for a big one here from Firthy if he can run out of here. He just dropped just a
smidge.
Tiny little bit, but it's enough to go 43.4. So you're pretty happy with that.
Definitely. Fam also flickering a little bit of colour on his delta as well. And Wadsworth and also all these boys.
Yeah, Bella, Scott, Kramer, Davidson, everybody up right now. So it's got right to that point of the time in this qualifying session for these guys to really start laying down these hot laps. Well, Leonard Scott, very, very loose. I think that was out of turn 11.
He's just coming up into the final right-hander here. Super long, late apexing one here. Very difficult. Gonna have so much patience there. Looks tidy, albeit maybe off the pace a little bit of work to do. Welcome to Rainlight, Jason. So it's plenty of pace up at the pointy end in the Pro-Am class. J-Man tonight, that's for sure. Nick Ferd still up on his Delta again.
Trading sectors with TFAM at the moment. Yep. So these guys know the importance of banking one of these to throw themselves amongst the pro class once they go out.
Has Firthy got a 42 in this thing? Look at this.
I think he has.
I think he thinks he has. Anyway,
it's going to be close. It's going to be close. He's just dropped a tiny little bit.
He did drop a frac there. So 43-1. Still with some time to go here, J-Man. 15 minutes for these boys before they peel off into the pits and let the pro guys out on track. Person Bella been improving the whole session as he slides the Lexus out of 12 there and into that final corner. Nice power slide there from Bella.
Yeah, gathered it up nicely, the change of direction.
Sneaks up a position in front of Ashton and into 5th position. Craig McConnell bettering his lap. Jason still trying to get a handle as he's up on his Delta here quite considerably. Nearly throws it away on that second and final corner. Very wide in the final one here as he comes to grips with that Aston. Pops
definitely improved though. Puts him up into P9.
So yeah, definitely wrestling. The number 1 at 41, Aston Martin there. The boys at the top in the pits. I'd say they've had enough, J-Man, or is Firthy out again?
Yeah, Firthy's out. TFAM is in there. What do we got? We've still got a good 2.5 minutes. They got 3 and a bit minutes, these guys. So definitely, I think TFAM could probably get out still. What's he doing? He's going to stay there. Is that it? Has he had enough as a 43.5? His limit.
3 minutes.
He has. 42s are getting closer, Louis, for sure. I think it's pretty fair to say that those top dogs are going to punch into there with these conditions.
Oh, without a doubt. J-Man, I think these boys are doing really solid time and definitely
Davis looking to improve here. He's just into sector 2, but carrying a good 6.5 to 6/10. So if he can keep the 773 BMW tidy for the remainder of this lap, even if he just maintains his margin that he's made improvement somewhere in the lap, certainly made advantage in sector 1 and sector 2. If he can just stabilise that through this back sector, I believe that will see him go up as high as probably another 2 spots, just tucked in behind Gunther Rowe, so which would be pretty good in class, because we know how competitive this Pro-Am and Am class is. Yeah, just interesting looking at the different lines, the way that these guys are attacking this final turn. But he got some benefit out of there. 17ths puts him, as I mentioned, just behind Gunther Rowe. 45.560, plays a 45.462. So he didn't need a lot more to try and put Gunther out of P7. McConnell on the improve with only 1 corner to go. And he's going this way, according to the back bumper. And it's forward. Won't be quite enough. 44.8. He's very, very getting closer to Jacob's 44.6. But with 16 minutes, so only a minute 12 to go in this session, he's pulled off. Might not have had enough tyre underneath him to go for one more. Yeah, cheers, Stewie. It's good to be back, mate. Had a good breakaway, but as always, love sitting here beside me, mate Davo, and calling these things. Gunther Rowe with 8/10 with 1 corner to go, Davo. Where did this come from?
Mate, he's been off the radar there a little bit. Got out there early, punched a few numbers, and it just sort of went back. But look at this, with only a few seconds left in the session for these boys.
Or was there a track cut on there or something?
There must have been. He's still got another lap to go there. He still gets across the line in time there, J-Man.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go as he crossed the line. So there will be still potentially the 41 car, the 13 car, and maybe the 56 car might get across the line before time. The 56 car is Nick Firth. Where is he? 12 seconds to go. He's got 1 corner to go, 8 seconds. Will Firthy get one more go at this? Because he is not on the improve. He has actually pulled into pit line, practice pit stop.
Oh, yeah, good call there, actually, and perfect timing to do it.
Yep.
Rowe just flickering the delta there, but he's going to need a few tenths to get himself up where Nick Firth, Jacob Wadsworth, and T-Fam are. These boys really are punching out some good, solid numbers there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got potential to grab, I think, probably a couple of spots here quite quickly, put himself up behind Craig McConnell. Although the Delta's just fallen away a little bit through this mid-sector as he's into sector 3. So a couple of corners to go. And he's got a couple of tenths back. So he's just tidied up the back end as Gunther. So this will be the car on the final lap of the Pro-Am class. And just needs to just get out of this final corner tidy. See if he can grab that 10th back. It's just gone away from him a little bit. I don't think there'll be much in this. 45.430. He does improve slightly, but not enough. So well done to those guys out there that have just banked. So that would have been effectively your first 13 runners, I believe, of 27 have gone out and banked a qualifying time.
Correct.
So, Nick Firth at the top of the tower there, 43.112.
Yep. T-Fam in second. Hang on, what's going on there?
Yeah, it's a bit of an upset on the leaderboard as far as the.
I think Fam might have dropped on us there.
Okay.
J-Man, because he's unavailable to my clicking thing, me jig.
Yes. Well, let's hope he can sort out that connection, come back and slot himself in. Because I can tell you there wasn't a 1.5 second gap from Firthy to the next guy when Fam was there. So.
Very close. I can tell you exactly what it was. It was about a second, was it, to Jacob?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Something like that. Anyway,
It's gone. Sorry, I was consumed by the 43 car. One of our sponsors, the Nortec, a couple of sponsors really on board that car. So Nortec car there steered. Okay, no, maybe. Yeah, it is. Sorry. And then just picking up on the cams with, T-Fam is out for the night. That's a shame.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Not cool at all, J-Man. But like you mentioned, just picking up on the Steve Crossland number 43 Nortec Porsche.
Yep.
Nortec, the official sponsor here for Series 5 in the 2024 Rainlight Racing GT3 Series. Also brought to you not only by Nortec, but Track 31 Titanium Digital Solutions, True to Life Racing, Crossy 43, and broadcast by Matchfit Entertainment. And Crossy done, he's been a pretty solid performer in the last couple of weeks, so it'd be interesting to see what he can extract from the Porsche again. This also, Brandon Webley was another that I was going to mention as he slides over for 43.5 at J-Man. So stamps a bit of a number on qualifying immediately.
Yeah, chucks one straight in there, which is pretty cool. And then obviously Costas in there as well. Hendo Vic Chan, Chris Curley. I mean, it's that leaderboard is like a lap one scenario right now. It is trending, so it's very, very hard to keep up.
It's moving pretty quick.
Yeah, and we saw this in the previous 13 cars. You know, went out, banked a lap, and then they, you know, that mid to three-quarter phase of their qualifying session, they obviously got the pressures right and got everything sorted, and then started smashing some numbers. So the fact that you've got Webley so close after one lap on a 43.5, so that he's going to be riding the mix, as forementioned by Matt Dayton, and then Julie in there also straight away on a 43.6. You know, those are basically installation laps for those fast boys, aren't they, really?
Oh, pretty well. Just checking basically the track conditions, aren't they? Just going, how's the grip over there? Grip's pretty good here. And then they'll get out and really get into it. So, bit of a sighting lap, really, for the boys. But, yeah, not too shabby, though, time-wise.
Yeah, 43.2 for Webley, so really does go to show that Firthy did put together a pretty solid lap on that 43.1.
Oh, absolutely. Curley also sneaking in there with a 43.6, as we'd expect from Curley. Matt Dayton in the Honda, I think just coming across. Did he improve? Yes, did improve. I don't think he moved up, though.
No, and Mav on a 43.2, Webley on a 43.2, Curley on a 43.2. You see what's trending here? All the 43.2 boys are going together.
Yeah.
What's the next step?
We'll have to see. We'll have to wait till the next lap. Costas Bakalos 43.9, so he's got a little bit of work to do. In the Ferrari, had it's probably an unlucky race last night. Oh, as he wrestles that thing through. I think that's turn 5 or 6 there. J-Man, scary little kick before the big, long right-hander up the hill. Awesome, twisty little track there. A little bit tricky to park. It'll keep the boys tonight. Gaz Eddy was also an unlucky race last week. So he'll be looking to make amends.
Yeah, he's going to improve this lap for sure.
Yeah, he's got that. Geez, that looks solid out of that final corner there. So.
Okay. So there must have been a cut lap in there, and it was down to a 43.3 if it was official. So it would put him close.
Yeah.
But not close enough. We do see. It's funny, we just picking up on the likes of Maverick and Co. They're all just Webley and Co. Also, just it's almost like they're doing a cycle lap because they've all just posted.
Pretty stout laps,
yes, stout, but like it's just no real improvement there. I just watching the deltas and there was not much going on. But you just look at the numbers there: 0.14, 0.15, 0.15. 0.6, that's probably the biggest margin, just over half a second, and P5's Gazzetti to Nick First. So the lap of Nick First holding halfway through this pro qualifying session.
Easily more than halfway through, actually, J-Man. Yep. So he'll be, I'm sure, sitting back there. No doubt he's probably listening too, just whooping it up there. Go get him, Firthy.
Yeah, hopefully he's still got his helmet on, because otherwise, you know, if we pump his tyres up enough, he might not be able to get it back on before this thing goes green. So Crossy on a better lap this one round, although, just a lot of track usage there. Sees his dot. Oh, what's he doing? Yeah, that was a track cut, unfortunately, for Crossy. I just caught him through.
Bad luck.
Yeah, through 5.6 was just not ideal. Just got a little bit of a kick on the entry and just really upset the car through the middle of that chicane phase there. So lost that one. Matt Dayton looking to improve, coming around for the last couple of corners, got nearly 3/10 up his sleeve as he rounds 13 into 14 now. Good looking car, this Honda in white with the white rims.
It's as he punches it out of that final corner. It looks super tidy, that car, even when it's running hot. And slips up a position there, I think up into 7th there. So not a bad effort from Chaplin Chan. Also on the improve there, J-Man.
So Maverick going perilously close with a 43.122 to be just in behind Nick Firth. Goes back in. Wants another set of shoes by the look of it. Go out and give this thing a red hot go because he's close but not close enough for that top spot. He is on the front row provisionally, Davo.
Yeah, well, no surprise. We know these guys, especially the boys up the top, I mean, they're out there for a reason. They're competitive people, so no surprise at all. I noticed also the Shane Frodo.
Yeah, mate, late to the scene in the OES GDR.
Yeah, so nice work. Good to see him slip in qualifying, not after. So awesome. Yep. As we just see Mav there doing a bit of weaving, get some temp in that front, and has a little bit of a wheel alignment check.
Oh,
over the curbing.
Shout out Firthy there to Firthy's sister who lives in Hungary and he's trying to do her proud. Well, you're doing a bloody great job right now, mate. Hopefully that one stands, mate. And either way, even if it doesn't, even if Mav or the likes of Cooley does manage to pip you, mate, you're right up in the thick of this thing. But fingers crossed, mate, that you hold that #1 spot for the start of this one. That's such a solid effort. Crossy, as mentioned, Davo, coming round the final corner there to bank a very good lap. It should be, P7 for Crossy, just tucked in between Matt Dayton and Gazzetti at the moment.
Yeah, nice work from Crossy in the Nortec Porsche J-Man. Brandon Webley getting a little bit of colour there on the Deltas as he winds towards the back of the circuit here. The final couple of corners. Got a couple of tents up his sleeve, which could see him sneak. Oh, very close to Mav, actually, J-Man. Just watch him get out of here. The old Lambo winds it up. Let a little bit of speed off there, just in that exit. Jeez, that's close.
Yeah, just pips Cooley there for P3, but I can tell you Cooley's just gone in for another set of shoes or a slight adjustment somewhere in the car, and he's back out there. Came back out with 3.5 minutes to go. Obviously, minute and 3/4 laps. He's going to get a couple in here. Maverick out there on a cut lap at the moment, so Firthy not under threat this lap round as Mav's just started sector 2 and no threat there because the Delta is red, so he's just cycling this thing up.
A little over 2.5 minutes to go. A couple of laps in it for these boys. As usual, this stuff goes right down to the wire, as do the races. This gets hectic at the end. No surprise, as we just see Costas Makalos run across the line. It just tucked in behind. I think that is Dawson's trademark white Lamborghini there.
Yep. Tucks in behind. Chaplin Chan on a slightly better lap here. Doesn't get a cut through there, but loses everything and a little bit on the Delta through there. So, just saw on the chat there from Dirt Dart, okay, Phil, that, the track cut monster will be a factor in this 90-minute race here tonight, trying to press on as hard as you can without stepping across the mark. So I believe the red DT on the right-hand side of the tower tonight could be a factor, Davo.
Look, I tend to agree. There's more than just a couple of corners here that beg you to get out there, and even just the slightest of mistakes and you'll find yourself out there. So yeah, very difficult to recover from. So yes, the red DT. Oh, ouch.
The monster does only prey on greedy people. It does. There's the occasional one that you get fed out there though to the monster. That one's a hard pill to swallow too, Stewie. So nerves high, palms are sweaty, Yeah, I can imagine. Firthy, mate, you've earned that spot at this point of time, and I can tell you what, I cannot see any threat at this point of time as we're winding down the final seconds. Mav's down 1.2. Webley's back in the pits. Cooley's down a couple of tenths on a cut lap. Chaplin Chan's not matching his time. I don't think Firthy's lap's under threat here.
Nah, look, there's no one showing up on my radar at all, J-Man. We got some pretty solid pro performers here.
Yeah.
And I don't think they get anything for that right now, with only 9, 8, 7 odd seconds to go.
Well, Maverick got across with 7 or 8 seconds to go, so this is legitimate. He tips the car into turn 1 with a half a tenth up his sleeve. Building down to turn 2, building towards a tenth of a second. Now,
so we'll watch this lap. We will watch this lap.
Yep, so certainly the nerves will be going 100 mile an hour for Firthy as it drops back to it's just on a half a tenth again. So a little bit of ebb and flow. He does not need much. He needs the smallest margin.
He needs exactly 1/100th of a second, David.
There you have it.
That's the split between their two times.
So can Mavericks ball Nick Firth's party? Firthy, jump on comms, offer him a bit of low and slow brisket, mate. Just tell him get out of it.
Get out of it. Go on.
Bit of brisket and a bow bun or something, mate. Just tell him to roll out of it. Not looking likely as he rounds up and he's heading down to, it looks like turn 11, 12 now. Still hovering around that half a tenth, Davo. Right on the cuff here. It'll all come down to this final corner. What can he do? Some of you will be cheering. Some of you will be just giving him a virtual handbrake as he just drops the Delta. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Nick Firth is going to take the pole position. Oh, he's right on the cuff. Oh, there's nothing in it. It just remained the same. So there you have it. You will be looking at a Nick Firth Maverick front row, unless there's something I can't see on the Delta. But no, that's it. That is official. So very, very well done. And is that the first time we've seen Firthy on the front row in the main game on a Monday night?
I think so, J-Man. And well done. Well deserved.
Very well deserved. May even have to have a quick mention before they go out. They got 2.5 minutes before these cars drop off the jack, so I'm sure the engineers had plenty of time to tune this thing up ready for the race. Firthy, you got us on comms?
Yes, lads. How you doing?
Mate, what a mega lap.
Yep, the Ferrari is obviously very favourable on this track, so that I definitely had on my side, but I put in a few extra laps practice this one to try and get something out of it, and now I am at the pointy end and grossly out of position for a start of a race. So,
well, mate, eyes forward. You're in the number one spot for the start of this thing. Get this thing off the line nice and clean, and mate, just eyes forward. You got good pace. You got really good pace. Yeah. We know that thing's good on fuel. I'm not sure what the tyre's going to hold up here like, mate, but you've done the best job so far. So congratulations on that pole position, Firthy.
Thanks, mate. Just happy to be here, and the aim of the game will be survival. I know it's a brutal track for an hour and a half, so hopefully I can survive and there's no incidents. That's all I'm going for. Realistically, I know I've got some fast drivers behind me, so it's going to be near impossible to keep them there, I think. So, yep.
Well, it's always nice to see one of our fellow commentators up there up the pointy end, isn't it, Davo?
Definitely go Firthy. Like I said, eyes forward, mate. Eyes forward.
All right, minute 9 before the start of this race, we will let Mr. Nick Firth get back and get his game face on and get into it. Well done, Firthy. Talk to you in a bit.
Thank you.
See you, mate. All right, so there you go.
Nick
Firthy. Yeah, on the front row, Davo. That's, I'd like to say it's a shock, but I think the writing was on the wall early. There was plenty of people in the chat talking him up as well, so.
Definitely. And like you said, I think he sells himself a little bit short, actually, Nick Firth. Reckons the Ferrari's got an advantage. He's still pedaling that thing around. And, punching well above his weight as the Pro-Am, taking pole position. So, awesome stuff. Who else stands out there? Oh, did we get T-Fan back in the room? I'm not sure. I don't think so. He was out for the night.
No, I think he was out for the night, according to the chat. And the chat is alive at the moment for Nick Firth. So plenty of support up and down the field for Firthy. So I think the recognition that he's done a great job amongst some pretty elite company, you know, the likes, when you take one of those away from the Webleys, Maverick, Cooley, Gazzetti, Chaplin. I mean, the list is massive. You know, we're seeing Matty T's qualifying performances this season have been pretty special as well. So, yeah, very good effort. And we wish him and everybody else beside him, behind him, the best for the start of this race. We can only hope for a clean one. And this weather, just going to have a quick scout around at this weather and just see what's going on here. Okay, so we have got a little bit more cloud cover for the start of this session. 4 p.m. this race starts.
It looks a little bit overcast just to look at there, J-Man. So we'll see a little bit of a track temp drop, but not much, to be honest. So ambient 22, and I think I've got on mine 27 degrees track temp there, J-Man.
Yeah, so certainly a fair bit of temp falling out, and don't expect it to get that much better at 4 o'clock being the starting time of this race. So you expect that the engineers will have the abacuses out and working out maybe the potential for how much temperature falls out of this thing and what the options are around strategy here tonight should it rain. So expect to see all the front runners in each respective class, Pro-Am and Am, try to go long here tonight, I would think. And then also the other thing we mentioned, Davo, once again, track cuts.
Cuts, yeah.
I think definitely through turns 5, 6 going to be an issue, but you don't count out other areas of this track being a factor. We know that run down through that switchback down through turn 3 as it drops down the hill.
Yeah.
You know, if you get a half a slide coming through the apex of there, you can end up very, very wide. Also, that turn 4, the left-hand dog leg.
The left dog leg, yeah.
2, yeah, you could get spat out there and get a track cut very, very easily.
Yeah. So, like I said, more than just a couple of corners you can come unstuck on, and there's actually a couple around the back section of the track, or at least one that's very easy to get wide.
And look at this. Look at this. The attitude of Firthy already on the cycle lap. He was well ahead. He's don't want any part of being around the cars on the warm-up lap. He's right up there, right up the front. He's only just gained the company of Maverick now. Now Maverick, a very seasoned, professional starter of these things, used to being up the front. As is Webley, as is Cooley.
Definitely, J-Man.
So you'll have to bring his A game for the start of this one.
Oh, you know it. Yeah, a couple of really good season starters here, right? Basically flanking him on all sides. So, but that is what you get when you join Rainlight Racing and join in on the 2024 GT3 Series 5. It's round 7, Hungaroring. We're about to go racing. Nick Firth, Mav on the front row, J-Man, and we have a green light. Mav with a little bit of a jump there immediately. Webley tucking in behind.
Second phase looked all right for Firthy. The second phase of the start. He's going to have to go big down here. I think he'll yield.
Cooley getting swamped by Gaz, Eddie, and Chaplin Tan. Chaplin drops back, but Crossland in there with Matt Dayton just tucked in behind. Who's that right next to Matty Dayton as well? Vic Chan,
Vic Chan.
Good, clean start up the Portier, and again, the two Porsches peppering the back of Cooley's car.
Yeah, so that's crossing now. Dayton with a little bit of run as they come through that turn 3, that dog leg. Now, this is the troublesome corner here. If they get a kick off for that ripple strip there, that can really upset the cars coming down through there.
Definitely. Oh, as we just That is Dixon just throwing the nose to Tan there.
Yeah.
So Tan pushed a little bit offline there. That is Costas Makrolos also in front of that little battle as well. Matty Dayton in 8th, Steve Crossland 7th, Chaplin Tan 6th. Halfway through lap 1 here. A good clean start, J-Man, and fast.
Yeah, super quick, and then a few positions made. Obviously, the Maverick over Nick Firth, and also Chaplin Chan moved up a little bit, but did settle back down. Gaz Eddy with an incredible start, managing to pick Cooley's pocket off the start. Also, I did see the likes of Will Dixon putting some pressure on the back of Makrolos's car as well. Got through
for sure. So Eddie was actually on Cooley.
Yes.
J-Man, not Webley. So, yeah, nice work from Eddie just to sneak up there. And I think Chaplin Chan, the early phases, tyre phase on those Porsches is good. And Chan looking to give Cooley a little bit of a lesson as well. Crossy tucked in there. Look at this.
Second lap. Webley deep under brakes into 1. And I tell you what, it really... inspired Gaz Eddy to have a look on the inside there. We know that's a good opportunity there if you outbrake yourself into 1, Davo.
Yeah, that's that run down to 2 and then through the little dog leg here and then another down the end of this little short chute here. All corners. This one particularly very easy to get a little bit untidy off the inside ripple strip and get a corner cut on the exit as Eddie runs deep there into the marbles as he tries to chase down Webley.
Yeah, he's going to have to just be careful here because, if he makes those little 1% mistakes there, Cooley's going to jump on that.
So it ended up there. It was Dixon into the back of Makrolos. J-Man, we might just pick up on a quick replay of that.
Yeah, it's big. And they're on the middle of 5 and 6. They're just trying to get themselves sorted. Leave it with you.
So I think it's... we'll just pick up as they get through that little dogleg at the end of the chute there. J-Man up to the big right-hander and up the hill over the crest. And it just looks like Dixon, just might have went a little bit deep on his braking mark there. Got the car up the inside.
Yeah, he got a good run out and then just, unfortunately, just ended up just a little bit too late and a little bit shallow on the right-hand entry, I think, was the story there. I'll tell you what, one of the big stories is the fact that Maverick, after passing Firthy's gone with, it's only 9 tenths. It's been 9 tenths through lap 1, 9 tenths into lap 2 as they embark on lap 3. He's right there. And just a little bit of a gap forming back to Webley from Firthy and Cooley all over the back of Gaz Eddy now. So the more that battle goes on, the more that the likely front 3 will be able to check out here. However, Webley needs to just step it up a little bit to just tag on the back of Firthy here. So Firthy doing a great job at the start of this one.
Yeah, and it'll be all about consistency, won't it? Being up the pointy end here, it's all about hitting your marks, very little to no mistakes, and just stay with the pack. Keep the eyes forward. Look at that little bunch. Cooley just in that pack of Porsches there.
Yeah, it is a pack of Porsches. It is a pack of Porsches. And I can tell you what, there is another pretty wholesome battle going on back too with Ashton Hughes, Gunther Rowe, Harrison Bella, Phil Davis, and then Wally Baker and Pete Dawson tagging on the... Oh, sorry, is it Pete? It's Mark
Bella, and Bella's in amongst that too. Gunther Rowe, Harrison Bella, and Phil Davison. Yeah, absolutely. J-Man.
So that is going off down there. But
that's
as you mentioned, this battle here, this 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th is very, very tight. I mean, Crossy sitting in the box seat watching all that action in front of him is in, I don't know, I just feel like at the moment, the early stage of this race, look after the tyre, look after the car, watch those track cuts, don't over push the car at the moment because you've got multiple cars in front of you. Crossy in the Nortec 43 Porsche, I think, is in a great position right now, currently running P7, and keep the pressure on Chaplin Chan and co. And as this thing filters down and the track cuts start coming, because they will come, we know that.
Well, you know it.
Play the long game here, Crossy. Yep. I think there's opportunity here for the 43 car, and a lot to shake out. Very, very impressed once again with the starting procedure for Maverick. As you mentioned, well experienced, however, still super, super impressed with Nick Firth to go with 8/10 is the margin, 1-2. Just pulling away slightly, 1.1 seconds back to Brandon Webley.
Yes, ever so slightly, J-Man, and Webley would not want to drop off the pace ultimately too much, because he has a cranky little bunch there as Eddie gets rough on that curb again. I think it was the same curb as last lap. And yeah, this angry little bunch behind him will be all over Webley if they don't hold themselves up. So plenty going on there. We will get down to that Gunther Rowe, Harrison Bella fight. It actually starts, it's Ashton who's back, isn't it? Ashton just got a bit of a gap on them there.
It is, and an update on the 222 Costas Makalos car and the 997 Will Dixon car after that incident, turns 5 and 6. So they are 23rd and 26th respectively. Obviously Will Dixon on the back of Adrian Kramer. Costas Makalos trying to round up Jason Leonard Scott to get on the back, and there's been an incident down there on that battle with Wally Baker, Pete Dawson, and one of the PPR cars, I believe. So didn't quite catch that live, just saw the aftermath.
We'll see if we can get a replay on that one.
Maybe a little bit of a redress as we just pick up on the Gatorade of Costas trying to round up Pete Dawson, but I'll leave that one with you.
Yeah, I think it just turbid there as I just starting to wind down through the back section here, and again just missing his brake mark by the ever so smallest of margins there, just getting the nose up beside the quarter of the Porsche and turning it ever so slowly too, mind you. So
Yep. And also, as mentioned by Stu there on the chat box, I have been watching the 585. Shane Fodado, Nissan GTR, moving up the pack, did actually round up Jacob Wadsworth just previously. So he is moving forward after turning up late in the qualifying and probably not doing as... we're not ending up in the order where he probably expected himself to be.
No, but moving forward very quickly, though, mind you.
He is.
J-Man, so...
Yep.
And
Stewards have... Sorry, mate. Stewards have handed a 20 seconds out to, I believe that was the Will Dixon car, and that would be for that incident with Costas Makalos at turn 5, turn 6 in the early stages. Davo, just an update
for sure.
Not quite from the back, I don't think, Stu. I think he may have banked something in there. Wouldn't have been too far from the back, though. So very, very impressive drive already from Shane Fodado.
I think the last time I saw him in qualifying was about 18th. Okay, so yeah, definitely made an improvement, bit of a mover and a shaker, and like just spectacular to watch him wrestle that R35 around. They're very good fun to watch that.
I'm scared to say too much about the 56 low and slow Ferrari, because it's anything like low and slow at the moment. Might be low, but it's not slow. But he has brought that margin down to 5/10, so just over half a second on Maverick. So he's going with at the moment, and that margin just pulling out to 1.3 over Webley. And Webley's got fresh air front and rear, so this is legitimate pace from Firthy and Maverick, and also Webley. So this is an early sign of the times. 22 degrees, 27 track temp. Conditions are the same as when they kicked off. That cloud cover doesn't appear to be increasing. However, the light is fading as the time clicks on. 4:16 currently, so 90-minute race here tonight, peeps. So Mr. Mark Turbot got a 10 seconds. So stewards are still working on that for Mark Turbot. So that was obviously something to do with that incident. We saw the back of behind Gunther Rowe, Harrison Bella and co. Might have been caught up in that one, and I didn't quite just see. I thought it was Pete Dawson, but it must have been Mr. Turbot. So the Discord invite link in the... Okay, thank you very much. You're all over that, Davo. Mate, man of many talents, multitasking.
We're working on it. We're working on it, J-Man, as we pick up on the Nathan Henderson. And I think that is Matty T actually just tucked in behind Henderson's Aston Martin for 10th and 11th. Gaz, Eddie and Cooley have just been inseparable after Gaz sneaking past him there in the first lap in the opening corners. And Mav now with Firthy all over his tail. J-Man, like you mentioned before, I don't think I even want to call this.
But I just wonder whether the belief is growing. If he's starting to believe, you know, like his pace tonight is legit, and he's about to take it to Mav. And I tell you what it's done at 3/10 the margin is it's bringing Webley back into this. So
it is.
You know, Firthy's got a good IQ when it comes out to racing. He's done plenty of it. We've heard him in the comms box. He knows what he's talking about. He's got a great IQ. So to be able to maybe get down here and do the business and get past Mav and press on will take away the threat of Webley.
For sure. Okay, we're going to leave that there for a bit.
Yeah, righto.
And we'll get back to the Matty T. Nathan Henderson battle. Flames licking from the side of the OES. Aston
but gets run down the inside here.
Very sideways.
He's going to be wide here. She's going to go inside.
Easily.
Now she can just hold him narrow here. No, he sweeps back around the outside. I was going to say she could just hold him narrow here. She could have looked for a switchback on the exit of this one here. So she'll have to try and measure Hendo up for another one. This is the Trek 31 car.
Hendo not looking comfortable there, my friend, in the Trek 31 car. One of the OES team boys. But all the same, good, solid battle going. Also, Gunther Rowe, Harrison Bella. Oh, I think there's just been a change of positions there somewhere, I think. Oh, or has there? No, that is absolutely correct. As Gunther goes, Aston, the Aston.
Coming down to turn 2.
Here we go, J-Man. This is one of the corners.
And look how close Bella is on the inside here. Man, that's tight. And just tucked in behind them, not too far down the road, you have got a recovering Costas Makrolos.
As well, that's right.
Yeah, and Will Dixon has cleared the Kenneth Worcester car, so he's on the move, but he's got a little bit of margin up the road to make up to Pete Dawson. So Dawson in a battle still with Leonard Scott and Turbot too. So admittedly, there is some time penalties hanging over a couple of these drives already.
There is J-Man just picking up out of the helmet of Harrison, Harrison Bella's car, and the amount of opposite lock this guy is using at the moment to stay in touch with that R35 is impressive.
Yeah.
So, nice work. But yeah, like you were saying, J-Man, there's a couple of time penalties, should I say, hanging over a couple of the boys there.
Oh, Firthy, very, very deep down into one. Just had to open the steering up. Probably hasn't cost him a great deal, just a little bit of margin, because he's incredibly close to Mav down there into one, but just might have just miscalculated that, and he's certainly showing intent now. Eddie just pulling a little bit away from Cooley at the moment. Chapman Chan just trying to tag on the back. So the Porsche's looking very, very good here, with the exception of Will Dixon after that incident down there with Costas. So,
and even though it's got a bit tied up between Firthy and Mav here, they've actually continued that little creep away from Webley there too as well. They've actually got a bit of a gap on him, apart from Firthy just running deep there in one.
I think it's been out as much as 1.3, Davo, I think is the biggest I've seen it go out to. So just looking at those cars from Helicam, the front two, the flow that they've got through there through 910 before, as they get to come around running down the hill for 13, 14 is impressive. You can just see the attitude of the cars through those fast right-handers there coming down. They look very, very accurate. So
absolutely. And look, we are over 15 minutes into this race, and you can clearly see the top 7 cars in camera shot just about at all times. That's how close the race is here still.
Yeah, shout out to Duke as well, Davo. He is still holding the fastest lap of this race. So best lap of a 43.6. So given that Pole was on a 43.1, that's a very, very quick race car.
You better believe it. Right, back to Gunther Rowe, Costas Macrolos, and Bella. Oh, Bella and Costas went out for the pass almost the same time.
Oh, that is a three-way, very, very tight battle. Sorry, I was consumed at that second when you called that with Matt Dayton and Vic Chan, who's P8, P9, but certainly Gunther Rowe, Ashton Hughes, Gunther Rowe, Costas, and Harrison Bella. Yep. That one there is, Costas on the Harrison Bella once again.
It just
super sideways.
All sorts of sideways.
As he came out of 3-4.
And so was Gunther Rowe there. It'll make him vulnerable here, albeit on the outside from Costas, but that's the long way round.
Oh, there's an overlap there. I can see Gunther just not quite giving Costas enough room. He had a slight overlap on the outside, and I tell you what, that's what happens.
Costas was on the grass as well, so let's get a replay of that.
Yeah, good to have you tune in, Phil Turner. It's great to be back, mate. Enjoying my time here, back with Davo as always.
So just picking up on just the Gunther there, just getting a little bit sideways, out of the kink left, into the big long right-hander, slightest of overlaps. Oh, it's almost, you know how they get, when they get that little bit of a guard rub and it just sucks the other car in a little bit and it just dragged Gunther across in front of Macrolos. It was just ever so slightest of touches.
It's not getting any better in live real time because I'll tell you what, he's just been rounded up. He's just been rounded up by Wally Baker and also Adrian Kramer, and he's pulled the car off to the left-hand side. Come on, dig deep, big breaths, Gunther, mate. You can do this. No, he's, there might be a couple of toys back there, and he's called it. That's a shame because we always like to see Gunther pedal that GDR around the track. We know what he's got. So just another unfortunate scenario there.
Oh, for sure, J-Man. And yeah, like you can see in the replay from the helicam, ever so slightest of touches, quarter to quarter there in the straight line, and could have gone either way.
Let's. Firthy's still got the blowtorch on Maverick. I mean, and this isn't something that rolls off the tongue easy because we're used to seeing Curly and Firthy just go out and do Curly and Firthy thing, and Maverick things. So the fact that Firthy's turned up here tonight, super comfy in the car. This just shows you what a driver can do when they got the right gear underneath them. They got the confidence, and this is going to go the whole way, I reckon.
Look, I tend to agree. And look, Firthy will be loving this. Mav will be loving it. We are loving it. Up in the comms box, J-Man. Excuse me, tripping over my tongue. Look, if you like what you're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like and the subscribe button. Get on the Rainlight Racing Discord. Sign up if you want to get amongst this racing here. It's awesome stuff, and obviously brought to you by Nortec, Trek 31, Titanium Digital Solutions, True to Life Racing, Crossing 43, and broadcast by Matchfit Entertainment. And Firthy dropping back into the clutches of Webley just while we were
must have had a little mistake there somewhere. So I think if he can just refocus, he's definitely got better car pace than Webley at the moment. So he just needs to just refocus and shoot on up the road. I might have just jinxed him with that comment about this is going to go the whole way, so I won't say that anymore.
Okay, let's go somewhere else then.
Well, I was actually just picked up on the McConnell-Wadsworth battle was pretty hot. There's probably, I don't know, 8/10 or something of a second between them at the moment, but it was pretty spirited half a lap to a lap ago. And I couldn't quite work out whether it was McConnell pulling away or whether it was Wadsworth on the charge. And I can tell you what I picked up on there from the McConnell car would have definitely been a track cut through turns 5 and 6 as they just come up through 7, 8 now. that would have definitely been a track cut. So we haven't talked about it for a little while, but as the time clicks on, what have we gone? What are we through now? What are we 21 minutes in or something? Where are we? Yep, something like that. I think the further this race goes on, the more real the factor is that we're going to start seeing some drive-throughs, because the pace is super, super hot. As we just pick up as well, again, we saw the big mistake. Well, we didn't see it, but we saw the aftermath of a big mistake from Nick Firth going back into the clutches of Webley, and within a half a lap, he is back to just under 7/10 of a second behind Maverick. So it just shows the car pace that Firthy's got on to be able to pull that gap back out.
Yeah, but the weird thing is that the gap between Webley and Mav doesn't change.
No,
it's just Firthy just rocking back and forth.
Back and forth between the two. He's like, "Hi, Mav.
Hi,
Webley.
Hi, Brandon." So,
good stuff. Good stuff. Once again, Gazzetti in there. He's just locked into that P4, and
yeah, nice work from Gaz actually. Yeah.
And Curley, you know, we're used to seeing Curley just go out and smash these crazy laps. So this is the gear that Chris Curley's got to work with tonight. This is what's underneath Mr. Curley, because we know the class that he is. And so the fact that he's just hovering there in between Gazzetti and Chaplin Chan, you know, this isn't by default. This is just where the pace of that car and Curley's at right now, I believe.
For sure. Yeah, just
Dayton and Vic Chan still going at it, so that hasn't changed.
No,
this is P8, P9.
And you were just mentioning Chris Curley still in that sort of big, you know, Porsche sandwich there.
Yep.
With Gazzetti leading, Chaplin Chan and Steve Crossland in the Nortec Porsche there as well. Yeah, like you just mentioned, Matt Dayton and Vic Chan and Nathan Henderson rounding out the top 10 with Matty T. So these guys, Matty T and Hendo there, actually not really going anywhere either. They've been a little bit
super close.
A little bit closer together at stages of the race, but still in the same position. Firth again.
Having a look on the inside. Car tight, can't he, Davo?
And Mab just can see him in the mirror there, allowing him just that little bit of space.
Yep. Just an awkward hop off the curb there for Firth. You just got to watch how much curb he uses there, 3, 5, 6.
It is an awkward little curb, that, isn't it? You see pretty well all of the car just hop off that one.
Yep. Now, Cooley, Eddie, Chaplin Chan just tightening up a little bit through sector 3 of this lap. So
again, is that with the slightest of mistake, just coming back a little bit to Curley?
Yeah, I think there's something there that's just a little bit ebb and flow. So because you can see it, because the gap shrinks between Chaplin and Cooley as well. The only one that's staying really out of it at the moment, from what I'm getting, is Crossy. He's just drifted off the back a little bit. He's 2.7. What's happened here? Crossy? What's going on with my data there?
He's 2.6.
Okay, 2.76. Yeah,
2.6 seconds back.
Yep.
Yeah, doing a stellar job. But yeah, like you said, just probably just staying back a little bit there. Still a long way to go. We haven't even hit the half an hour mark, so over an hour of racing yet to come here tonight.
I feel like it's a game of chess out there at the moment, Davo.
Oh, mate, high-speed chess. And look, we're not even a third of the way through the race yet. So,
and shout out to our live stewards tonight. Those guys sitting in there doing the business at tonight, getting a little bit of a reprieve, just enjoying probably what they're seeing at the moment. Not too much action going on for the stewards. A little bit of early intervention there, as you can see. Will Dixon with a penalty, also Mark Turbot there with the time penalty. However, been relatively incident-free since then, Davo.
Absolutely. And like I said, probably time to, just have a bit of a cup of coffee or something. and relax and watch the race.
Yeah, very much. And that Craig McConnell battle and Jacob Wadsworth. Now, not sure what's gone on there, because I thought Shane was marching up the road there, but they have caught the back of Shane. To my knowledge, Shane was always in P12 behind Matty T, and he has gained company about quarter of a second, no, 3/4 of a second behind as Craig McConnell and Jacob Wadsworth. So, not sure what's going on there, but that two-way battle between McConnell and Wadsworth's now become 3 with Shane Fodderdo. So just not sure whether Shane turned up late to the party once again, or if he's just having a few engineering issues with that car, maybe tyre pressures. I can't help but feel, looking at the mid-corner pace of Nick Firth's car, Davo, if he gets past that Maverick car, which is a big ask, whether that car will march off into the distance, because it just looks like it's stronger in a few places.
Yeah. This is actually a great race going on here. Just these top 7 cars.
Yeah, brilliant.
Are just nailing it at the moment. And it's just hard to know who to watch, because they're all just smashing out the numbers. This little top 3 pack here, or the next 3 down, going hard at it. All super entertaining, and again, you can just see them all in camera shot quite a lot of the time. So it just shows you how in touch the race still is as we sort of get towards the half an hour mark.
Yeah, well, look, the top 6 cars, obviously you mentioned the 7 Crossy is in there, but the top 6 cars last lap round: 44.4, 44.5, 44.5, 44.1, 44.4, 44.5, and 44.4, and 44.8. So there, this is, like I mentioned, this is just, I'm just going to size you up for the first hour, and then half an hour to go, I'm going to have a red hot go, I reckon. So, well, yeah, he or she who's got the most track cuts left in the pocket with probably 15 to go is going to look good, as Curley ranges up on the outside of Gazzetti to turn 1, starts looking incentivised, but what that's done is that's just given a big invitation to Chaplin Chan.
Yeah. So,
albeit you go on the attack, now you're on the defence. A little bit of a rub down into 2.
Chan well up on the inside.
Yep.
Two just, it begs you to go side by side. There's a couple of calls.
Oh, look at the run here. Look at the run. He'll have to just work out what he's going to do through this really, really difficult turn 4 switchback left-hander.
Now we picked
first of the drive-throughs, Leonard Scott.
Oh, there you go. We did pick up on the replay there as these boys came across the start-finish line just at the beginning of this lap here, and Curley trying to dodge draft, so Chaplin couldn't get on his wing all the way down the start-finish straight. So Curley knows Chan's got some pace in that pool. Oh, it's a big handful of opposite lock from Chaplin Chan.
It was massive, yeah. He did a good job, and he didn't really lose. He didn't really lose any margin from it either. It just pressed on, and
he would have got a track infringement for it.
You would think.
Curley very sideways on the entry, and he's into the pit lane.
He's into the pit lane. First of the pit stops that we have seen, and I believe looking at it there. So I'm just going to go on board with Curley, and yeah, gets it down right on the cuff. No stranger to getting accurate 1% pit stops is Chris Curley. So gets out of that battle, just not happy. I think maybe a set of tyres here, a pressure adjustment or something going to go on. But yeah, interesting. I did call it the top end of this race with the potential with a little bit of weather on the horizon about the guys and girls at the top end of class racing here tonight might run these things long with the prospect of weather turning up late in the piece. So interesting that I just don't think Curley's happy with that car right now.
Well, just given the position he's just been running for the first 30 minutes, J-Man, I don't think he is either. So we know he's one of the movers and shakers, particularly at the beginning of the race. He tends to like to get himself up the pointy end. Whether the car stays there or not is a different question, but it generally does. And that car just has not looked quick here tonight. So Curley in the pit, And yeah, he'll want to hit his marks and just get straight back out there.
He's going to come out right in the thick of the battle between Wally Baker and Worcester and Kramer by the look of it. And he's just going to slot in between Baker and Kramer as they come down into turn one. So might have been a good stop, but however, he's got legitimate company. There'll be no blue flags there because he's effectively gone down to these guys here.
Which is 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th or something.
So currently slotted into P, I think it'd be P.
Oh no, he's back further than that. He's in 21st.
It'd be 21st, yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. No, he might be further back than that.
Yeah,
he was because he's on Wally Baker. So he's P23, about to make a big dive down on Wally Baker, down into, I believe that's turn 5, through the right-hand sweeper there as they head up to, 6-7. Yeah, so just slotted in there.
One of those really awkward little chicanes, that, isn't it, J-Man? That 6-7 up at the top of the hill there.
But even here right now, just tucked in behind Worcester here, this is just, you know, at the outlap, which is he just sizes them up there beautifully, cuts down the inside. But we often look at the gains made on the in-lap, outlap, and that still would have cost them a few tenths, if not a second, maybe on that outlap.
Yeah.
So just factor that in when the likes of Mav, Firthy, Webley, and then you've got Gaz Eddy was just up in front of thing, and then Chaplin Chan right behind.
As well, and is it even enough to bring Crossy back in? And like again, how quick are some of these pit stops lately? We're seeing some of these guys really nail their pit stop time.
Yep.
A lot to be gained and sometimes lost.
Yep.
with a quick pit stop.
McConnell Fotterday going at it, as is Firthy Maverick. I'm pretty fixated on this battle at the moment, waiting, for someone to blink up the front end here. And I can tell you the first three have carried on. Does Chaplin Chan react to the Curley pit stop? No. Does Steve Crossland react? No. I'm just wondering if anybody's going to react to the Chris Curley. To the Chris Curley pit stop, but apparently not.
Well, it is early, isn't it?
Oh, that's so close from Firthy down to turn one. He is super accurate on his brake marks at the moment. To follow this close, you know it, Davo. Anyone else that's done any sort of sim racing knows that when you're racing this close and this fast, behind another driver for this period of time, you end up just getting so focused on those tail lights and just making sure that you brake just slightly before them, modulate the brake so you can keep that margin the same. As you see him range up there, that bottlenecked effect, he would brake and then maybe release the brake as he comes in there to keep that margin the same. Try and get on the power a little bit earlier than Maverick off the corner. You can see he's gauging this car. It's a whole rubber band effect, but he's using it to his advantage to stay with this Lamborghini.
Yeah, and like you said, that modulation, you can actually see his brake lights. You get that initial hit a brake light, and then you'll see him flicker here and there as he just modulates that pedal. Just keeps that, it's basically just keeping that car distance, isn't it? So he's just got that little bit of a buffer zone in case the car in front might prop or hit a bit of curb or something. So, which is super safe, isn't it?
Yep.
To drive.
Yep.
And still be quick. So awesome stuff there from both those boys there, actually.
Yeah, and I've given a lot of kudos to Firthy here for the drive that he's doing, but equally saying that Maverick, to do this job and be under so much pressure for the last 35 minutes and not put a foot wrong, because let's be fair, the only mistakes I've seen out of these front two is probably a couple of little little incidents there with Firthy just pressing hard, looking for a way past, and he's just sort of overshot down into one and then maybe got off a line through sector 2 just to lose the margin. But as we mentioned, he quickly gained those inches and tenths back, which does tell you what sort of car pace. But for Maverick to get out there and stay focused on what he's doing out the front and not succumb to the pressure so far from Nick Firth is an outstanding effort.
Absolutely, J-Man, that it is. As the cameras pick up on Shane Faraday as he does a big signature drift out of the final corner. Spectacular watch, Shane Faraday in the R35, aka the Datto. Running a little bit deep into one.
McConnell
made him vulnerable. McConnell knows he's got a great overlap here. Shane will want to go deep here. Has he gone too deep? Only just holding that together.
Yeah, a lot of respect there, but I'll tell you what, it's a big invitation now for Wadsworth.
Yeah.
And he's going to wind that Lamborghini power up in behind that Aston. But yeah, Shane did a pretty good awareness there just to place the car where he needed to. But you just look, I just think he's struggling with a little bit of turning at the moment as Shane-O.
The car never looks happy. It just looks spectacular because it's always just sideways or out at half. It looks like it's half out of control most of the time. But look, he hits the numbers, mate, and he's performing again. 11th position, just out of the top 10, with plenty of work to do with Craig McConnell and Jacob Wadsworth, keeping him well and truly honest back there at 12th and 13th respectively. So good little ding-dong battle there going on, Jay.
Yeah, an update on the Cooley early pit stop as well. So he's just approaching the back of Phil Davidson and Mark Turbot. He just rounds up Turbot relatively quickly, so I don't think that's going to upset the lap time too much. However, I will just have a watch of this lap. Last lap round for Cooley was a 44.4, which is a very, very respectful lap, somewhere similar to what you'd see the front boys be running. However, he's just tucked up behind Davison. Davison goes wide, Cooley to the inside, turn 13. Actually, Davison just misread that. It's actually going to give that position to the PPR racing car and Mark Turbot. And they're going to actually contest that through the final turn. So I just want to catch up and see what Cooley's last lap time is to see whether that upset him. Not really, 44.7. You could say it hurt him by a couple of tenths.
Hardly worth the mention.
Probably not, but I was looking for food, mate.
Yeah, no, too true. As we just still got cams on Craig McConnell, same front of day. Craig, I really do think he thinks he's got the measure of that R35 in front of him, and would love to see his Aston on the other side of it. So yeah, he persists again.
It's about to get interesting at the front here, Davo, because Firthy's looking racy, and look at this, they have caught. It looks very much like the Uncle Joe car, who does get out the way, so there's going to be nothing to be had there, but they are starting to wind, approaching that 40-minute mark into lap traffic already. So already put Uncle Joe down a lap, and these guys, it was Uncle Joe.
Yeah, yep, Joe Gourmet, yes.
Yeah, and very quickly, just up the road in front of them is the Jason Leonard Scott car, so they're going to have that to deal with. Now, we know what lap traffic does to battles. You know, most of the guys and girls around the traps these days are very, very aware of blue flags, but hey, look, it just depends where you catch them.
Yeah, look, as always, isn't it, J-Man? Some tracks obviously easier than others, but you know, we know the lap traffic always do a stellar job. But yeah, just the timing can be a little bit awkward sometimes, can't it? And just knowing which side to go, and the closing speeds in certain particular parts of the track can be vastly different, and that's quite often where things do come unstuck when there's high speeds involved. So Nick Firth and Mav slipping past, I think was our newcomer, J-Man.
I'm just trying to work out what's going on there. Whose car was amongst the battle there with Gazzetti? Was that a back marker there, was it?
So that is Costas Macrolos's car, just tucked in behind Chaplin Chan.
Okay, Uncle Joe in, Josh Nightingale in.
So why are they getting lap traffic as well now?
Hendo in the lane. So I was just trying to work out, where Costas was, whether Costas. Okay, so he's made his pit stop, as is Jacob Wadsworth, hence why they've got to them, because I didn't expect, even though Costas was recovering from that early incident, I didn't expect them to catch those guys so quick. So Costas in there with legitimate pace, and that's why you'll see him be able to run that similar pace to Chaplin Chan and Gazzetti, because Costas likely to be on a new tyre.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Costas, albeit running some good pace, still recovering from a couple of incidents already this race. J-Man having turned that Ferrari around twice through, I don't think, any fault of his own either time. So, yeah, tough stuff. But, yeah, them's the games we play. J-Man, as we pick up on Gaz, tucked in behind, well, he's not really tucked in behind Brandon Webley, as Chaplin Chan just tucked in behind him in 5th place and starting to come through some lap traffic, or out of position. We'll call it out of position traffic, because it's not really lap traffic, so to speak.
And all the front runners still opting just to stay out there, apart from Crossland, Steve Crossland in the lane.
Okay, so he was the only one that was really in clean air too, J-Man. We are nearly right at that, sort of exact half. This is the window, let's say.
This is the window, yep.
This is the window, the full halfway window, so open as she gets. So we'll start to see a flurry of pit stops here.
Yeah, Vic Chan in the lane as well. So yeah, Crossy hasn't had a lot of traffic. He hasn't probably quite had the same pace as
Chan and Gazzetti and...
Well, I'm thinking Cooley, because Cooley came into pits, and then, so Crossy's in the lane, Cooley's coming down the back sector now, coming through 12 now, heading down to 13. So I'm just wondering, I don't think Cooley's really been held up too much. He's such a master at navigating traffic out there, but it'll be interesting to see what sort of stop Crossland has and where he comes out in relation to Cooley. Obviously, Cooley being the first of those front stoppers. Crossland off the jacks, works it up, gets plenty of heat in those rear tyres as he leaves there, and we should see...
that's going to be close. That's going to be close.
I was going to say that it's going to be really, really tight. I think he might have Cooley here, maybe a master stroke. So that fresh air is played into the hands of Steve Crossland, so it's a beautiful move.
Very nice.
He does the overcut, so to speak.
Vic Chan also in the lane, J-Man, or should be just exiting it by now.
Yeah, he came in behind Crossy.
So nice work from Steve Crossland in the number 43 Nortec car, ladies and gentlemen. Nortec, major sponsor for the Rainlight Racing 2024 GT3 series, as is Trek 31 Titanium Digital Solutions, True to Life Racing, Crossy 43, and broadcast by Matchfit Entertainment. J-Man.
Chaplin Chan in the lane too, Davo.
Chaplin Chan in the lane. We see a flurry of pit stops here as we wind towards. We are nearly exactly halfway in this 90-minute race.
Yeah, and I can tell you now, the sun is gone. All I'm seeing is clouds. So once again, what's the play here? Do the front runners stay up for as long as they possibly can? You've still got the likes of Maverick and Nick Firth running low 44s, 44.6 for Maverick last lap round, 44.3 for Nick Firth last lap round. Webley 45.2, so a little bit off the pace, starting to fall away there. 4.2 seconds off of these front two now. So time for a tyre for Webley, or is he playing around with the buttons on the dash? I'm not sure, but those two front runners are starting to check out. And, this is it. Do you wing it now and go and get on a fresh set of rubber and keep banking those lap times? Or do you play the card that maybe there's a bit of precipitation going to come at the back end of this and you jump on a wet tyre at the right time? So many things to play out here. And I tell you what, if I was Nick Firth, I'm just going to do exactly what Maverick does right now.
That's what I'd be doing too. I'm a procrastinator. Oh, it's looked like...
was there a fake in there? Was there a fake?
Faked like a mother.
Yeah, he did. He did. He's playing the games as Brandon Webley. I tell you what, that last lap time was too much for him. He's decided to pull off into the lane. Comes down, gets it well down to 41k an hour on the way in. So about 9k short of the mark there as far as the entry. These guys look for those last couple of tenths, but safe is best, I suppose, Davo.
Yeah, definitely. As we pick back up on the...
Matty T.
the 43 car of Crossland, the Nortec-sponsored Porsche. Chris Cooley all over at the back of him, and just looking at the body language of Chris Cooley's, we'll just get click back one onto Cooley's car there. He does not look comfortable in that car. That is not the smooth as silk Chris Cooley that we are used to seeing. So the car a little bit upset, not looking as confident as we would normally expect. Who else do we have in the pit lane, like you said?
Webley, McConnell, Matty T.
Yep.
Yeah, plenty in there. But for me, I think the Webley car, that's the one. That's the one, because where is Steve Crossland and Chris Cooley? They're coming out on the front straight. Where is Brandon Webley? He's coming out. This is going to tighten this up as well.
Webley's got...
He can see he's coming down on a tyre.
So that's Harrison Bella that's just tucked in behind him.
And then Adrian Kramer.
In the green thing there. But there is Crossy and
flashing the light.
Yeah, flashing their lights away.
Okay.
Nice work from Webley, but Webley...
Okay, we've got the two front runners in the lane. Okay. Don't speed, boys. You've got this. Oh, very, very accurate from both of them. I can tell you now, I saw both of them only get as low as 49.7k at the slower speed on the way in. So those are the little things. Matt Dayton in the lane also. Matt Dayton been relatively quiet on our radar tonight. He was engaged in that battle with Vic Chan for a fair bit. Had the upper hand, I might add, over the big Bentley. So Matt Dayton currently running officially P4, as a few guys in front have stopped in front of him. So I think in theory he was coming in out of P7. Officially probably P8 because Cooley did stop early. So
yeah.
Once again, well inside the 10, well amongst the mix. It's all about getting these pit stops accurate.
For sure. I just been noted, Nick first pit box is the second from...
Yeah. So there's a race on pit road here, mate. There is an absolute race.
Here we go.
Firthy needs to get off the jacks.
Yeah.
There's not a lot in it.
It's pretty much the way they came in, J-Man. Maybe a couple of car lengths in it there. So I'm sure Firthy would have been just making sure all of that happened properly. Did not make any mistakes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what that does is that leaves Gazzetti out there 27 laps down of this race, just past, obviously, as you mentioned, the halfway mark, out there to go and do his thing. Last lap time around was a 45.1, remembering that the likes of Maverick and Firthy were comfortably doing mid-44s right up to the back end of that stint. So he's just going to go out there looking like he's going to press on. Got Shane Fodderdo behind him, but Shane has stopped. He's out of position. So,
and we still got a couple. So we've got a couple of people to pit here. Gazzetti, Will Dixon, Harrison Bella, Pete Dawson, Mr. Turbo actually in the pits as we speak, and also Wally Baker, J-Man. I think that's everybody.
So Mr. Turbo probably going to sit in there for an extra 10 seconds and get rid of that 10 seconds that he had. I wonder whether Will Dixon will do the same. I'm not sure. Is that an option in here? I think it is.
I think it is as well, J-Man. And 10 seconds. That would be good to clear that. Obviously, depending on which position you're playing for, where your fight is.
Yep. So Crossy just holding his own at the moment over Chris Cooley, and he's, to be honest, I feel like track position wise he's a lot closer now to Brandon Webley than he was pre-pit stop. So very, very good stop for Steve Crossland. So not sure what the pit stop scenario is there. I would have thought at a 90-minute race every driver out there would be grabbing a fresh set of rubber. I think you
would expect so, wouldn't you?
You'd be in a world of pain for the back 20 minutes if you didn't.
Oh, and look, we'd clearly see it, wouldn't we, to a certain extent, just in the lap times alone, pretty quickly as they come out of the pit lane. Just to be noted there, Crossland, like you said, definitely closer to Webley than previously, and also pulling away from Cooley as well. So definitely got some pace on. He has looked very speedy in the Nortec car the last couple of weeks. So.
Chaplin Chan still very much in touch with that battle as well. And Harrison Bella just in the back of shot there. However, Harrison Bella hasn't made his official pit stop yet. So he is about 3.3 seconds off there, battling still with Pete Dawson. Those guys been engaged in a bit of battle, I think. The likes of Wally Baker and maybe Turbot was involved in that battle earlier on as well. So be interested to see what that shakes out like post-pit stops. Maverick just got an absolute rear view full of Nick Firth as well, because he had a little bit of margin as they settled into this new set of tyres after that pit stop. But however, Firthy is resettled into the groove and
just sneaking through some lap traffic there though, Jamie. I just wonder I think that's Phil Davison's car. I just wonder whether that might have just like heated that battle a little, you know, just turned the wick up a little.
Yeah, critical component of the race. Obviously, track conditions 21 and 25 gone on to a new set of tyres. That outgoing tyre set would have to be well and truly set for these temperatures to fall away for the next 40 minutes, Davo, and they will. I mean, we've seen them. They were 22 and 27 respectively. And once again, look at the run that Firthy gets out of turn 1. So Mav just struggling with that apex in turn 1 again a little bit, not massively, but enough for Firthy to get hungry.
Yeah, definitely, J-Man. Matt Dayton, Pete Dawson, a couple of wide Lone Rangers here.
Yeah. Out there doing it.
Yeah, Dayton just sneaking around Dawson there, out of 1.
Yeah, he tucked it down the inside and managed to round him up, open the steering up on the way out, just get their run down the hill there nicely. But, hey, just watching Steve Crossan in the Nortec 43 car there, definitely driven away from Cooley post-pit stops and trying to tag on the back of Webley.
And doing a stellar job, actually, J-Man. We should get in car with Crossy for a moment and just do a lap with him.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely fantastic driving from both those drivers. Not a lot on that lap there, Davo. Like very, very close, very, very accurate.
Absolutely.
As is the Firthy Maverick. And just a big shout out to everybody out there tonight that's been engaged in battle, irrespective of whether you're first and second or you are 16th and 17th. The likes of McConnell, Wadsworth and co that have been battling away throughout tonight. I just think the level of racing that we've seen here tonight on this track. So big shout out to to the track as well, because I think this track really lends itself to some spectacular racing with these quality sim races.
For sure. I tend to agree, J-Man. And yes, look, multiple battles that have gone on pretty well since the green flag dropped. Camera's now on one of them. It's just a Nathan Henderson, Matty T. These two have been inseparable for the whole race pretty well. So plenty going on up and down through the field. We got also
Costas and Shane. Oh, Shane with a big lose coming through turn 4. Going to put Costas up on the outside. We saw Costas up on the outside here once before. He did this move with Gunther Rowe, and that ended in tears. However, the overlap is significantly more this time.
It was like freaking deja vu there, David.
Yeah. He would have been wincing, mate. He would have been puckering coming into turn 5, turn 6.
Mate, no, didn't he grab it with both hands there, Costas?
He
anyway,
sure did.
Just went, no, I've got this. I practiced it last time on Gunther, but I got it this time.
Yeah. Oh, we have had a move. I just think Chaplin Chan is through on Cooley, and now Gaz Eddy's lining up. Now remember, Gaz Eddy was ahead of Cooley from the start of the race.
Yeah, so Gaz said he's gone back a position.
Okay.
Because he was in front of both of those guys.
Okay, okay. So that's what's happened. But Chaplin Chan is certainly gone forward. So he is the difference there. That still ends up being a poor sandwich for Chris Cooley. It's been that way all night.
Yeah, I thought actually Gaz, maybe his pit stop wasn't so good.
Yeah, I think that might have been it. I'm not sure he's gone backwards, maybe in the pit lane.
No, because it was definitely Crossland Cooley when they come out of the pits, remember?
Yes.
So Chan's got up in there at least.
Yeah, Chaplin Chan definitely made the move, but I think Gaz Eddy might have succumbed to a slower pit stop, and Chaplin Chan's just going to have to round up Phil Davison down the inside here as they come down into turn 12, and I tell you what, that puts Cooley in an awkward position with Gaz Eddy right behind him as they come up to 13. He's going to shoot down the inside. Gaz Eddy will go with, and he does, and he'll start sizing him up. But as we mentioned earlier, it'd be interesting to be a fly on the wall in the cockpit of the Cooley car, because I just don't think he's that comfortable with that car tonight.
No, I don't think so either, Jamie. Not at all. Definitely not the Cooley in the Aston that we're used to anyway. So yeah, plenty going on. And definitely got his work cut out for him as Eddie, just right up the inside there with a bit of overlap.
Yep.
Cool. Looked like he might have had a bit of a stuck throttle there, J-Man.
Yeah, can we get a replay on that? I just didn't quite... Oh, yeah, there's definite contact, but he didn't look like he didn't get out of it, for sure.
No, so yeah, Gaz, Eddie down the inside there, so slight, little bit of contact.
And that's Cooley out, mate. That's a big hit, and he's called the tow truck for that one. So that's a shame. It'll be a double donut for Cooley the last 2 weeks. He won't like that at all. So that's a shame, because he was engaged in a pretty spicy battle too. Oh,
definitely. And in amongst some good company there with Gaz, Eddie, Chaplin Chan, and Steve Crossland throughout the night as well. So all of those guys are racing a hard race, and that top 6 or 7 cars pretty well up until now. You know, you've been able to see in camera shot for the whole race so far. So yeah, very tight stuff. J-Man's been keeping us up to date with the lap times as these boys
drive through for Mr. Turbot, mate. So that'll be a direct result of track infringements, and we,
of course,
an hour to go. I said to you at the top end of the stream, it's all about preserving, doing a Crossland, sitting on back 2.6 seconds, something off the back of the pack, preserve those track cuts, and then go for it for the last half an hour, maybe 20 minutes. But that one has got Mr. Turbot there. However,
well, he's missed the half an hour mark by a minute, J-Man. That's what he's. That was there's the problem.
But so. Yeah, the idea is to have a few up your sleeve with a half an hour to go, not the last one before half an hour.
Okay.
As he goes in to take that stop, as is Harrison Bella goes in to take his official stop, and he would have the company of one of the PPR cars, which I believe will be. Oh, that is the Turbot car to take that drive through. Kenneth Worcester with a 5-second penalty there. I'm not sure whether that's been handed out by the stewards. I suspect so. So something going on toward there that they've picked up on. And Firthy just absolutely, with half an hour to go, so impressive. These two up the front here have done this for basically an hour already.
Every minute of the hour.
As former drivers, Dave, when you roll out of these things and you've had a race like this, dare I say it, I feel like it doesn't matter whether you're the front car or you're the car that comes across in second.
That's right.
You're both winners on a night like this when you go to battle like this. This is what we all aspire to do, is to go to battle with your mate, whether it be first and second or 20th and 21st. But this is a epic display from these two drivers.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and we did actually get dragged Verthi into the comms box for a very short chat before they went to formation lap, and he did express his nervousness a little. Just said he felt like he was a little bit out of position, but those nerves not showing now, J-Man.
Oh, man, I don't reckon he's nervous at all.
Not
and if
at
he
all.
watches the stream back and looks back with 29 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the stream, and looks back and reflects on this, there'll be no nerves at all. It'll be all focus on about how he does this, how much pressure he keeps applying to this number 3 Lamborghini of Mavericks. And I think the confidence and the growth tonight with that qualifying and then the race, so much belief in Firthy's ability to take it to Mav here tonight.
Oh, 100%. As the cameras just pick up on Kenneth Worcester, and I think that's the Dixon car, actually, J-Man. One, I think, is out of a position a little, but yeah, ding-dong little battle going on.
Okay, I'm just trying to pick up on that one.
Worcester, 24th position.
Yep, gotcha. And so that's Dixon down the inside. That's out of position.
That is out of position. Dixon 17th. So nice work. That is also Harrison Bella in the background.
Now,
who is actually in position with Dixon. So yeah, he's in 18th.
Quick shout out to Phil Davison on his second tour of what is Rainlight Racing on a Monday night, and that BMW races out of the 777 Esports stable. We've come to know Phil from around the chaps with Matchfit Broadcasting, and he's doing a stellar job. Currently classified, I think, as I think you said, maybe they come in as a Pro-Am and then get classified. And look,
I think they just plonk them there as an unclassified driver, but they end up in the Pro-Am, and they either go up or they go down from there, or they stay where they are. So, yeah.
Look, he's either at the very, very back at the moment of the Pro-Am class, or he's doing a stellar job of the Am class. And I would have said the latter, that he's likely, and he won't take offence to me saying this, that if he's racing in that Am class, he's doing a stellar job. Currently got 16.9 seconds over Wally Baker. I think it was something like that. And then, he's out there doing, like even there, letting Matt Dayton go. The spatial awareness and of some of these Am drivers, learning their craft is impressive. So the 773 car, Phil Davison, outstanding drive here tonight.
Absolutely. J-Man, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, where do you sneak in? Probably, yeah, definitely top of the Ams there at the moment.
What has happened up the top end of town? We've had an incident with Nick Firth, and Brandon Webley has got through into P2, and he's got Crossy behind him. So what sort of pace? What has happened there? He has, I want to see the lap for Nick Firth. It was a 1:53. It was a 10-second, sorry. Yeah, it was significantly slow. It was 10 seconds slower. So he's had a big incident there. So we'll see if he can recover. He's currently still on the podium.
Okay, so we just tried to get a 1-minute replay on that. So we were banging on about the boys down the back, of course, because they're racing as well.
Yep.
And missed that, ladies and gentlemen. The 1 minute hasn't picked it up. But yeah, Firthy clearly with a big mistake, J-Man, to let not only let the grips of Maverick go, but let bloody Brandon in front of him in the other Lamborghini. So
yeah, 25 minutes to go, and Maverick has got a margin of 8.7 seconds over Webley, and Firthy has got to deal with Webley now. Now I think that he's got good car pace, so it'll be interesting to see what was Webley with a 44.1 plays. Firthy's 44.5. I think this will be a battle now. This will be a hell of a battle, and this could potentially play Steve Crossland back into a podium contention, because these guys will get engaged in a dogfight now.
Now, for sure, definitely, J-Man, and of course, Firth has had clear pace all race. He's now tucked well up behind Webley, and he would no doubt be looking to take that position back, J-Man, in the next 24 odd minutes. And may not be right tucked in behind Mav's wing, but he would no doubt love that second position back. Webley will not make that job easier, I suspect, as they roll out on to the start, finish straight to complete 37 laps. Ladies and gentlemen, this is round 7 at Hungaroring for the 2024 Rainlight Racing GT3 Series, brought to you by Nortec, Trek 31 Titanium Digital Solutions, True to Life Racing, Crossy 43, and broadcast to the interwebs by MatchFit Entertainment. Please click the thumbs up button if you like what you see, and subscribe and hit your notifications. As we wind on down, we are 2/3 of the way through round 7 here tonight. 23.5 minutes to go. Cameras focused on Webley. Firth with a mistake, allowing Webley past Firth. Unbelievable pace there.
Yeah, very quick through that sector.
7 and 8 there. Like, how often do you see a pass like that pulled off, J-Man?
Yeah.
The slightest of little bump, extra bump on the ripple strip from Webley, and Firthy's just like, bam, I'm there. Up beside him. Overlap. Huge overlap.
Okay, how strong is the belief then? Because what is the margin?
Can he get back? Can he get back, J-Man? 22 minutes, 23 minutes on to go.
I can tell you, I've just gone and found the incident with Firthy, and he was tucked up right in behind Maverick out of the final turn, got right up on the ripple strip, and the car just rotated. So it was an unforced error from Nick Firth out of turn 14, just got it too high on the ripple strip, picked up an inside wheel and rotated the car, and he was very, very lucky at that time not to succumb to Steve Croston down to turn 1. So just thought I'd give you the update on what actually happened there to Firthy. So,
thanks, Jay. And we would forever be wondering. And look, like I just mentioned, there is 22 minutes to go in this race, J-Man. Nick Firth's pace has been exceptional. Even tucked in behind Mav's car, the Ferrari always looked like it was the quicker car. Can he reel that gap? And that gap is substantial at the moment now.
8.4. 8.4. Yes. It was 8.7, now it's 8.4. We're going to keep you up to date with that margin, and we'll see what he can dig out of there. Basically, claw his way back and see what he can do. But you know that Maverick out there on his own is well accustomed to just banking off laps, and is probably not going to make too much or too many errors. So where is Mav? What's he likely to deal with? What's track? He's got traffic coming up. He's got Kenneth Worcester coming up shortly. He's actually got a power traffic going to come up inside. Probably, I'm going to say the next 3 laps. He's going to have to negotiate for 5 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 cars inside the next 3-4 laps. So that will carve off down to probably still with around about 12 minutes to go before he clears them. So very real factor that this could shrink, but it's going to require a really gritty drive from Firthy now to try and get back on the tail, as we see Gaz Eddy all over the back of Chaplin Chan.
And Eddie showed some really snappy pace here tonight, and I would hesitate to say probably looked like a little bit quicker than Chan tonight as well, but track position is key, as we know. Can he sneak that car past and get a bit of a gain? Look, and again, like these guys are chasing Crossing, and I suspect Gaz Eddy, who has been in front of both of these guys already previously this race, so earlier in this race, would like to get another position and head towards Crossy's car. So some guys just for whatever reason slow in the pit stops, little mistake on track, unforced, back a position or 2 from where they think they should be, and clearly have pace to be further up the field.
Yeah, it really underscores the job that Crossland did in the pit lane, and I think, you know,
sure.
We often talk about the 1% things and the guys that do the good things, you know, like there's a lot of good engineers out here, know how to set a car up, know how to set tyre pressures, and certainly know how to drive the cars fast. But then those little things, you know, I talked about the Maverick Nick Firth pit entries, and I saw the way that those guys both brought those cars down to the pit limiter, and I said, you know, the lowest speed that those cars went on entry was 49.7 k an hour, and then the likes of, I think I saw, I want to say it was maybe I picked up on the Dayton car, went down to 41 k an hour.
Yep.
And you know, might say, well, it's only 8 k an hour for a couple of meters, but it's those tiny little increments that can make a break, because it's so, you know, you can see by what you're seeing with Eddie and Chan out on track, to make a second or a half a second out on track's not easy. However, when we first looked at the margin from Firthy to Maverick, it was 8.7 seconds. It's currently 7.8, so approaching the second.
And he was up 4/10 on his best lap delta as well, just there, J-Man, for a moment. Yep. So pushing hard, he will be very conscious of track infringements, no doubt, in the fight back.
Yeah, speaking of track infringements, welcome to the drive-through club, Harrison Bella, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
So Harrison Bella's just got one, and that's going to be a big factor as he does a drive-through, and he's got 8.8 seconds down the road to Pete Dawson for position. So that Lexus will have to navigate the pit lane and
one more time, yes.
Yeah, probably succumb that position to Pete Dawson. He won't be under any other threat, I don't think, from there. However, it will be close, as that margin is around about, like I said, 9 seconds, as we see Bella peel into the pit lane. Give you an update on where Dawson is. Okay, so Dawson is actually just coming to pit entry now, so he's comfortably going to grab that, I would think, as Bella trundles down this. Ooh, that was very, very close on the pit limiter there for Harrison Bella. I'll be interested to see if something comes of that.
So yeah, that's a shame for Bella. He has been in some really good battles tonight, and been in the action, gotten a bit of airtime as well. Yep. Sliding the Lexi around here at Hungaroring for round 7.
Miscued the entry, and race control's given him a stop-go 30. I thought that looked a little bit...
no. Just
so it goes from bad to worse.
Insult to injury, as they say.
Yeah. Firthy pulling away from Brandon Webley. Last time I checked, it was down to 7.5. What's it now? 7.3. He's on the move. Still 16 and 3/4 minutes to go. It's a big ask, but he's done a great job with this car tonight. He's just got to keep pushing.
I just hate to see him hit it hard, like bin it hard, or get a drive through.
Yeah. He's just got to be calculated here. He's got a solid position, and I tell you what, this is going to go a long way towards a big haul of points here tonight. So you'd have to factor that in.
Gaz Eddie, sorry for
You're right,
interrupting there. Gaz Eddie doing the same, the Nick Firth move.
Yeah,
on Chaplin Chan.
Did the business. Probably worthy of a replay. That was a beautiful move.
It's definitely worthy of a replay. We'll just try and get from the helicams, just so you can sort of gauge how short the little shoot is that they're doing.
It's not long.
It is very short here, and Gaz from way back nails the entry. A little bit bumpy on the exit, and that's all it takes. Bam! And there he is. Tidy, a little bit awkward on the exit of the next left hand, but set up beautifully. We saw Nick Firth deliver that punch to Brandon Webley just a little earlier. So nice work from Gaz Eddie. It'll just be interesting to see if Gaz can stretch. I sort of felt that Gaz had a little bit of pace on Chan tonight. These guys both equally as fast as each other.
Yep.
So, yeah, but just Eddie just looking to probably make amends from last week. J-Man, I know you weren't here, but Gaz was a really tough round last week. So I think he's just trying to really get his head screwed back on properly after that one.
Yep. Big shout out to the likes of Shane Fodato, Craig McConnell, Jacob Wadsworth is, hang on, no, it would be, sorry, the other car would be in there, would have been Ashton Hughes. No, I'm not sure who it was, but it was certainly Shane and Craig battling away tonight in there. So
I think they're still going at it, actually, J-Man. So
yeah, they are still going at it.
So there's also Matty T, Nathan Henderson, and Matty T now in front of Henderson and with a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, so good clawback from Matty T. She didn't look that strong in qualifying tonight. Struggled, I think, based on... Oh, shouldn't have talked about her. I've just cursed it.
Just caught it in camera, so I was focused on Hendo there.
We're supposed to get support from these drivers when we're talking about them. And I'll tell you what, the amount of times we flick to them, we start talking about them and they have a whoopsie. Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
So, Matty T kept the car pointing relatively in the right direction and has definitely got it pointing the right way now and onwards and upwards with only a little over 13 minutes. And like we just mentioned, the Faraday-Craig McConnell battle is not going anywhere. Faraday sliding that R35 around all over the place as usual.
Yeah. So this battle as well, Trek 31 car of Nathan Henderson on Madison T that's heating up with 13 minutes to go. I can't help but feel like that margin is just going to be a little too far for Nick Firth when Maverick's out there still banking 44.7s versus his 44.6s. So he's taking out microsectors, and it's just, such was the racing tonight, how close they were. It's just, barring a mistake from Mav, maybe we should talk about Mav and maybe coach Mav backwards towards Firthy, but no, we don't wish that sort of stuff on anybody. But however, the margins will be very, very small, but big enough for Firthy to walk that car away from Brandon Webley. So clearly Firth, the best of the rest, and Maverick just having that upper hand here tonight. So Steve Cross in 1.8 seconds off the back of Brandon Webley. However, Gaz Eddy, as you mentioned, they are chasing down Crossland, and Gaz Eddy, since making that pass on Chapman Chan, is now really on the move. 1.5 seconds. Expect that margin to drop over the next 5 minutes and come down to a real battle with only a couple of 3 laps to go. I'm picking that is going to be where it'll be at.
Look, I did suspect, like I said, Gaz had been up the pointy end, in front of the 2 guys that were in front of him earlier in the race, and knew he had the car speed. Just had to get past him, and the first cab off the rank obviously was Chaplin Chan, which took some time, but now chasing Steve Crossland, J-Man, that's definitely in reach. More of
that. Nick Firth took 0.7 of a second out of Maverick in 1 lap, so 6.5 seconds the margin. So it was a 44.8 plays a 44.1. So still plenty of gas in the tank for the 56 Ferrari, as Crossland is going to, I believe, have to deal with Gaz Eddy before too long. 1.4 seconds of margin.
I'm sure Crossy was just feeling pretty comfy there in behind Webley. Just cruising along. It's okay, sweet, I got this 4th position. It's okay. In the Nortec car. And now Gaz Eddy, he's just thinking, oh, here he comes. Shit, I'm going to deal with this. So he'll have that Nortec Porsche wound up hot. And,
also, Matt Dayton, Vic Chan, look, a couple of few seconds in between them tonight, but those 2 cars I could have called all night, being somewhere similar on the similar piece of racetrack, obviously 3 odd seconds between them, but that has been a bit of an arm wrestle all night for the 12 Dayton Honda and the 333 Bentley of Vic Chan. So the just looking there, what is on? Sorry, I just had a bit of an upset on my data there, but that's all right. Just picking up on Gaz Eddy, still moving forward. Still at that 1.4 second mark. 6.2 seconds the margin for Nick Firth. We have a 44.6 for Maverick, plays a 44.1. So that's back-to-back 44.1s for Nick Firth. So very, very comfortable in the pace where he's at. Up a couple of tenths on the Delta, so he's pressing. He's pressing hard with just under 10 minutes to go. Is there still some belief?
It is, well, yes, the Nick Firth low and slow Firthy slow belief. And,
turn it down, Firthy.
It's belief in the brisket, you know.
We love a bit of low and slow.
So yeah, he'll be pressing on, as will be Steve Crossland. The cameras pick up again on the Nortec. Number 43 Porsche was piloted by Steve Crossland. Not that far back from Webley with Gaz Eddy hot in tow, looking to make a gain in the last 9. Shane Frodo, Craig McConnell, Shano showing the nose again into 1. Yeah. That's Harrison Bello actually tucked in behind there, J-Man.
Yeah, recovering from the drive-through. And recovering from the stop-go 30 also.
Now, he's been quick tonight. That car has seen a lot of airtime, and it is it's probably more spectacular to watch than the Nismo we're looking over the rear wing of. Very sideways from the Lexus tonight.
Yeah, it's a speedway taxi.
It's Bella wrestles that thing. He is out of position. He's done a couple of pit stops tonight, and some. As McConnell looked like he just was going to step aside there for a second, but doesn't. That's I see what's going on there. Bella stepping away to let Dixon slip into that battle. So that is actually a 3-way there, J-Man, from Shane Furtado, Craig McConnell, and Dixon in the Porsche.
Yeah, it is. And the Webley Crossland Eddy battle is 1.4, 1.4. So that's starting to crush.
Yep.
As the laps wind down with 7.5 minutes to go, we're starting to see that margin crush. So I'm looking for Firthy to see whether Firthy can bring this margin down below 5. No, it's hovering at that 5.2, 5.3. So it's kind of plateaued at the moment. So Firthy dropping into a 43.8, Maverick on a 44.8. Oh, okay, so there was a fair bit there. So, but that Gaz Eddy, Steve Crossland, and Webley battle's not going anywhere too soon. And you also mentioned, so Hendo still putting the pressure. Who's that? Matty T.
Matty T. Yep. So yeah, they are still in close contact. I think Matty T has definitely got a handle on this race, showing a little bit better rhythm, apart from the little slip up we saw before, than Hendo, definitely in the back end of this race. So, nice work from her. We still got the shenanigans going up at the pointy end, and obviously Craig McConnell. There's a little bit of lap traffic, and Will Dixon sort of got involved. Craig McConnell has dropped well off the back of Shane Frodo.
Yeah, it's the furthest we've seen them for a bit. So
yeah, and I think it's just that Will Dixon factor just coming into it. Now Dixon we just saw, well, we were just discussing something else, but on camera I saw Dixon into the second to last corners being a little bit heavy-handed, and then getting a pass, I think, Mr. Craig McConnell, but readdressing it immediately after the corner. So it is back to business as usual for these two, and I'm sure will be wanting to make that move nice and cleanly and fair square next time.
This is a recovery job after a big incident, plus a time penalty at the start of this race.
Well,
for
that's
Will.
right. That's right. So yes, we've seen the Porsche in the walls a little tonight as we get out of the back of Craig McConnell's car. Dixon, massive under brakes in the Porsche, easily getting it pulled up.
Yep.
But the straight line punch again, you see the Porsche suffer. So interesting stuff. Nick Firth, J-Man, 5 seconds, not enough.
But a great drive back and a great, you know, like you can clearly see, drove away 5 seconds from Webley, so really good pace. Crossland 1.7 now off the back. However, Gaz Eddy under the second barrier, so this is attack mode for Gaz Eddy on Crossland. At that 0.8, anything 0.9 or a second under, you're in attack mode. You're fully. As Crossy throws it sideways into turn 4
and gathers it.
Yeah, it was spectacular.
The camera's only just picked it up. It wasn't a particularly good camera angle of it. You can see just armful of opposite lock there.
Yeah, well, I was skyward. I was in sky cam and chopper cam, and I'll tell you what, mate, he would have been full oppie lock.
Oh yeah.
So really impressive stuff.
Definitely cross. I think Gaz has woken Crossy up. Like I said before, I think he was just pretty happy and cozy to sit behind Webley as this race wound down, just thinking, oh, fourth is pretty good. Nice points haul. But Gaz has got something else in mind here as we wind down. 3.5 minutes to go. Gaz Eddy in 5th and looking to put the pressure on Crossy here. Has he got what it takes? We think so, J-Man. But like I said, I think Crossy's just woken up. Whoa! Big chunk of opposite lock and went, okay.
Yeah, it's time to go.
I've got a couple more laps here.
Yeah, so Firthy effectively halving that margin from when we first saw him have to take that position back off of Webley to try and make this charge down. So probably a fair bit of management there from Maverick. But yeah, that round 44.8 for Mav, 44.2 for Nick Firth brings that margin down. Now we'll get our latest delta is 4.5 seconds. So I think that'll be all she wrote. So a spectacular drive if it stays the same for Maverick and Nick Firth, and then Brandon Webley also. But this Crossland Gaz Eddy battle is one of the PPR cars just steps off the mark there, just to let those guys carry on, because that is certainly pretty spicy there.
Dixon, tell you what spicy is. Dixon on McCollin.
Dixon and yeah, big time.
That Dixon car, look, a second quicker a lap than the car in front of it, but he cannot get past it.
Nah, he's, I tell you what, McConnell is placing that car everywhere he needs to. Just look at the way he opened the steering up coming out of 13. Going to hold the middle of the apex of the inside line here out of 14. Open the steering up. He knows the car's got enough punch in a straight line down here against the Porsche. Porsche's got big brakes, so he might just go a little bit centre track shallow here down to the braking zone. No, he still keeps on the outside. He's comfortable with his margin. Makes his mark. Tight on the inside. Dixon pretty wide off there. Uses a bit of the safety grass.
But yeah, nowhere to go for Dixon.
No.
As strong as that thing is under brakes, and that little early pickup on the throttle and the punch out of the corners,
and Gaz Eddy
can't deliver it.
No. Gaz Eddy dealing with the same equipment as Crossland, i.e. the whole Porsche manufacturer, the Mark thing going on there. So he's clearly looking for a mistake. And Crossy post pit stop has just been nothing short of solid in P4. He's driven that car beautifully. Thought he had something for Webley. I think Webley's tyres came up to pressure, and I tell you, that was a big cut there from Crossland. I reckon that would have been a track cut, so he must have a couple up his sleeve. We talked about this throughout the night, but there was a pretty big track cut on the inside.
And Gaz, looks like it rattled him a little bit there too,
I think so.
Because he's just Gaz all over the back of him. Crossy's internal abacus, he'll be doing the numbers, J-Man.
Yeah, he will be. He will be. How many times can I hit what where?
That must be getting close for him. It definitely looked like it put him off his game there.
And I'll tell you what, Harrison Bella sitting in behind Will Dix and Craig McConnell's got absolutely top-notch seats for this show that those two are putting on at the back end with only 15 seconds to go in this race. So you can pretty much guarantee Maverick's going to cross the line with about 7 seconds to go. Six seconds to go. And this will be the final lap.
He'll do one more lap.
He couldn't back out of it 6 seconds because he only had 4.2 to give to Firthy.
That's right. That would have been disastrous, ladies and gentlemen.
It could have been a huge upset. So, hey, look, Gazzetti's got one more crack at this, and I reckon Crossy's he's gonna really put that car across those chicanes once again. If he's got it up his sleeve, he'll use it. I reckon he will. Some of the closest margins as well. Pete Dawson also on a charge with Ashton Hughes. The back end of this is still about 1.2 seconds in it, so they're not as close as Gaz and Crossland.
Craig McConnell, Will Dixon still at it. J-Man with Dixon very sideways in the Porsche, looking for everything.
Yeah, he knows it's the last lap.
Anything, give it to me.
Rums.
Crossland, Gazzetti.
Yeah. They're coming up to the danger zone now. Watch Crossy use a lot of curb here. Uses a lot of curb there as well. Gets a bounce off the car. Gets a little bit out of the grass. Faked it to the inside.
Whoa.
He knows this is it. There'll be a big move down for the final. Turn 13, I believe. Turn 13, turn 14. He'll have a big look.
Because we saw Gaz get through on Chan there from the same mistake earlier.
Yep. Maverick just rounding out 13, heading into 14.
He's actually just tucked in behind Will Dixon.
Look at this, Will Dixon on the inside.
And Mav takes out round 7.
McConnell holds off Dixon, and Firthy comes home for a solid P2.
Mate, what an awesome story. It's just hectic.
Brandon Webley wins at the podium over Steve Crossan, who held off a hard-charging Gazzetti for P5, and Chaplin Chan in there for P6. Matt Dayton, relatively quiet night for the comms for Matt Dayton because he was stuck out there in that P7 just holding off Vic Chan, who's going to bring this thing home in P8.
So that top 6, that's so hard to call. They just came over the line so in quick succession.
Very, very quick.
Matt Dayton, like you mentioned, 6. Vic Chan, very close. 8. Here comes Matty T in 9. That was epic. Anyway, like I was trying to say, Mav winning round 7 here at Hungaroring in the Rainlight Racing 2024 GT3 series with Nick Firth close behind and Brandon Webley rounding out the top 3. And they keep coming. Hendo just in behind Matty T.
Yeah, rounds out the 10, does Hendo over Costas Macrolos.
Yeah, Macrolos had that thing's been backwards twice tonight, at least twice that I can. Shane Fronado had a great battle and punched his way up through the field. Great battles all the way through, including Craig McConnell, Will Dixon, and J-Man was calling that because they were right in front of Mav. As I was trying to...
Yeah, it was crazy good.
Throw superlatives at Mav. J-Man was calling the other battle. So it was awesome stuff, but just shows you how hectic it is at the end of these races. 3 stellar battles going on actually all the way, throughout the field. J-Man, we've got other business to get to. What are we going to do? Who are we getting up here?
Okay.
Let's fire up the hot box.
So we're looking for Brandon Webley here. Not sure if I can see Brando. Where is Mr. Webley?
While we're waiting,
I got him.
We'll thank Nortec, Trek 31, Titanium Digital Solutions, True to Life Racing, Crossy 43, and Matchbit Entertainment, and obviously the ladies and gentlemen that joined us. Please like and subscribe. Brandon Webley.
Yeah, we got Webley. We got you on comms, Webley.
Yo, how you going?
Brandon, what an outstanding drive, mate. Look, from the start to the finish, man, talk to us about the concentration levels to actually go out there and run that pace and have those guys just in front and those guys just behind. Obviously, you had Firthy in the front, and then you obviously had the likes of Cooley and then Gazzetti and Crossan and stuff behind you. I don't think there was a dull moment in that one for you as far as cars in front and behind, mate. Talk to us about that.
So I was going real good on the first before the pit stop, but somewhere around about the halfway mark, my throttle pedal went like out of calibration and wouldn't hit it. I didn't realize, but it wasn't hitting 100%, unless I was really pressing on it, So that was kind of, I'm pretty sure that's why I was so much slower in the second half of the race. It was definitely. Thought I was in with a chance for it, and then second half I was way slower. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, it sort of gave that appearance like post pit stops. Looked like Crossy had a pretty good pit stop as well, and then you were engaged in that battle, and then we looked at the margin. You sort of fell away, I think, where that throttle started playing up the back end of that first stint. However, when you came out and Crossy was on the back of you post pit stops, I thought he had something for you, and you really drove away from him at the back end, and then he came. I guess him and Gazzetti came back a little bit towards the back end. Maybe that right foot was just getting a little bit tired from pressing so hard there, Brandon. But nonetheless, it's still a really, really stellar drive. And your eyes must have been like dinner plates when you come around turn 14 and saw a recovering Nick Firth.
Yeah. But Nick was definitely the fastest guy today. But so yeah, he was all over me, and then I made a mistake in the chicane. I just let him go because it's definitely faster.
Yeah. Hey, nonetheless, mate, any day that you get to turn up here and talk to us on the podium, you obviously had a pretty good night, mate. So big haul of points again here for round 7, Brandon. So congratulations, mate. Well done. And hell of a race to watch back if you got time to catch the stream, mate.
Yeah, I'll be watching it back tomorrow, I'd say. So.
Awesome, mate. Well done. Enjoy that one. Thanks for the entertainment. That is Brandon Webley for P3. Thanks, Brandon.
Cheers, guys.
Well, there you go, Davo. That was an epic drive there.
Oh, yeah.
From Brandon. But the next guy we're going to pull down into the box, I really want to get inside this guy's head and just talk to him about what was the night here tonight. Nick Firth, you got us on comms?
I've got you, lad. Sorry, I was mid-conversation.
Sorry, mate.
We love doing that.
Yeah, we're just so much more important than whoever you were talking to then. Sorry, whoever it was.
It was Maverick.
Yeah. Oh, well, no. Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, talk to us about that because throughout the broadcast we talked about Nick Firth's confidence levels and the belief and stuff. So just give us a little insight to maybe about the emotions and the mindset throughout that race from the start to the finish.
I'll be fair. Hungaroring for me is a track that I've spent a bit of time on, like with a lot of other races and leagues, etc. Being one of, I think, the OG tracks. So I felt confident going into it, and I thought if I spend a little bit of time, like a couple of days, just cutting some laps and trying to get the Ferrari as dialed as possible, that I would hopefully give myself a really good chance come race day. So it worked out. So the Ferrari, Hungaroring, being a track that I've done a fair bit before, it all just came together. So I was really stoked with that. One of my probably top drives I would put up there for myself. So yeah, stoked.
Yeah, look, it was nothing short of entertaining to watch start to finish. Even the recovery back after you put the car just a little too high up on the outside ripple strip on turn 14, and the car rotated. I think most of us have been there at some point somewhere along the line and had that disconnect. But
I was trying different lines to get a run on Maverick because I knew I had a really strong car braking into T1, and it was much stronger than Mav's car. Under brakes, but I didn't want to make that move unless I had my car in a really dominant position to make it. I didn't want to just send it and
didn't want to be that guy.
No, and and Mav's a fantastic driver. I don't get the opportunity to race that closely with a guy like Mav very often. So I honestly just enjoyed being behind him and going, I'm in P2. This isn't something that I would normally, just like where I would normally be happy with where you are. Just try and stay consistent. Try not to get track cuts. In the back of my mind, I knew the undercut was on, and I probably should have gone for the undercut. But the reason I didn't do it is because I am not generally the best at pitting, so my pits are usually pretty rough. So I made the decision to stick with Mav until he pitted, so that I could just emulate his pit entry, his braking marker, and his hitting the pit limiter, just so that I could stay where I was. Because my end game was if I stuck close enough to him, and hopefully if I bothered him enough like during the whole race, that hopefully he was stacking up some track cuts, because I had 0 track cuts until the last 5 minutes of the race. So I was really sort of putting my eggs in that basket of him stacking up track cuts, and then getting to that final warning, and then me being able to try and capitalize
push him.
Yeah, because I just tried to save my tires as much as possible behind him as well, and just keep the Ferrari hooked up. And man, it just felt so good on that track, honestly.
Mate, Nick, it didn't look like it. The thing was lightning fast.
Yeah.
It just looked so fast.
Look,
and
to even think that if I could, I was thinking in my head, if I can get in front of Mav here, I'm getting like an extra 2/10 to 3/10, potentially.
Yeah.
And I felt like I called that. I felt like if you got past, I felt like there was certain phases of that race where you would have pulled a margin.
Yeah. Well, when I lost, like if I went for a move, it didn't pay off, and I lost a second. There were 2 corners that I knew under braking without a car in front of me that I was gaining that time back, like in maybe a lap and a half, two laps. So, but the Ferrari was it's red hot at Hungaroring. Like it's a beast there. So
yeah, I thought 10, 11, 12. I thought 10, 11, 12, 30. I thought you were particularly good tonight. I thought the car flowed really well. I thought it did break very exceptional down into 1. I thought it held a beautiful line through the right-hand sweep of 5, and then it looked pretty comfortable. A couple of awkward kicks off the curb as everybody got tonight through 6, 7. But then in saying that, I just thought that the way the car responded coming through 8 and then 9, 10 through the left, right, I thought was particularly good coming down the hill, that final sector. I mean, Mav was strong there also, but I just think there was a slight little edge on the flow of the car through those high-speed turns as well. I thought the car was pretty happy to do that.
Yeah, so that's where the Ferrari comes into its own, when it's already maintaining good corner speed, and you can get back on throttle and push that, and get back on it. Whereas those slower corners, getting on the throttle, you're not going to make gains in the acceleration points on the Lambo, and particularly Mav, who's just, he's a magician when it comes to brake inputs and acceleration, etc. So I was just buzzing to even just be driving with some of those guys around me. I know they're fast drivers, so I was just amped. That was my goal, was top 10, to try and be comfortable here. It's a favorite track. I love Hungaroring. I've really gelled with the Ferrari, and I was like, this is my opportunity to do well. I need to put some time into this track and try.
And I think you seized it with both hands, Firthy. I really think you did. I think Davo called it during the stream. I think nothing short of you look like you belong there. You really did. Like you really look like. Now, if I'm able, I might just do something a little bit different here tonight, Firthy. So I just grabbed this mic piece off you, and I'm just going to pull Mav down here for his interview, and I will get the race director to find us another mic, and we'll have a quick chat collectively at the end. So I'll just, like I said, thank you very, very much. I think you did a great job. Exceptional drive from Nick Firth there for P2. But we will bring Mav down now for his interview, and we'll just not mute Firthy, but we'll just sit him off to the side there so we can get the insight into Mav's race. Mav, you got us on comms?
G'day, guys.
G'day, mate. Just going to do something a little bit different there. We just heard from P3 and P2. We've just left P2 in here, Nick Firth, and I think it's justified given that the battle that we saw tonight. And we often talk during the stream tonight, Mav. We always put you up there on a different level, the quality of driver that you are. But that tonight, mate, talk to us about the battle that you had there with Firthy, and obviously congratulations on the race win. But the sort of stuff going through your head as you're going through, and you can't shake that Ferrari for 130.
Yeah, thanks. Look, first of all, it was very enjoyable. Firthy, he was all over me like a rash. I got the feeling that he was kind of happy just sitting there and didn't want to stand there, didn't want to make any mistakes. I was actually kind of hoping he would do something, as in not make a mistake, but kind of send it or undercut or overcut.
Yep.
But I think he actually came in the same. You came in the same lap as me, didn't you?
Yeah. I just chose to follow you, mate, and emulate your pit stop, basically. So
you literally could have done anything else, I reckon, and you would have come out P1.
Well, funny, because it was that point of time. I'm just going to cut in there with you two both and talk to you about the time that you stopped. Obviously, Cooley made an early stop, and I talked at the top end of the stream about the weather conditions and about a 15% chance of some precipitation out there tonight. Obviously, being a 4 p.m. race start, and we saw the track temps falling away. I'll touch on that shortly. But when you guys came in, I actually had said to David, now, if I'm Nick Firth, right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to follow Mav and do everything Mav does, because at that point of time when you came in on the weather module, the sun went away and it was purely cloud only. So I was saying, you should mirror what Mav's doing right now so that you stay in the game rather than go and risk it. Now, when you guys both came in, you were so accurate. We often talk about the 1%ers on the pit lane stuff. You came in, you both hit the pit limiter. The lowest speed I saw you both get down to was 49.7 k an hour. So that's that accuracy of coming in, getting the car into first gear, getting the limiter on, and not going. We see guys go as low as 41 k an hour, 38, whatever. Now those are those micro sectors that you make or lose in pit stops, and you guys were bang on accurate. So Mav, I think at that time that was perfect. So I'll throw it back to you at that point there. When you go and you do that and your mate mirrors you, what are you thinking?
Man, I didn't even know he was behind me. I came out of the pits, did a lap, and I thought, oh, he's going to pit next lap. And then I look, he's already 1.2 behind me. I was like, oh, geez, he must have come in the same time. I was so focused on the pit stop that I didn't even look at the mirror to see if he was there. Because I haven't hit my pit a couple of times, and I thought I'll try and nail it this time.
Yeah. And so what sort of stuff goes into that there too, Mav, with the ingoing, outgoing tyre set? Have you preset tyre pressures to be up a little bit because you fall off on temp? Where are we at with that engineering?
After the first stint, the fronts were good, but the rears were a bit low. So I just pumped up the rears a bit, and then I didn't even look at the weather forecast. I didn't even know there was cloud or whatever was coming, but I did see the temperature drop a little bit, but the pressures were at 26.9, so I thought even if it drops 1 or 2 degrees, it's still going to be in the sweet spot. So I just left the fronts and just pumped up the rears, and that's it.
Okay, what about you, Firthy? Was there much consideration to that outgoing tyre set?
I thought it would get cooler, so I just on my preset, my tyre change was up probably 2 clicks. But as I was entering the pit, I knew I had a long sort of drive to get up to the end of the pit where my pit box was. So it looked like it just needed probably 1 or 2 more clicks. So I just added that quickly, and the tyre temps were pretty good once I joined back on the back of Mav. So honestly, I was just really stoked to not cock up a pit stop, which I'm generally known to do. So I kind of have Mav to pay to thank for that, because
You're welcome, mate.
I just followed him in and did exactly what he did, and just tried to make sure I hit my box. And I was just honestly just pumped to come out 1.5 seconds behind Mav, because it was great.
Yeah, look, I play golf off a 36, and if I play with a scratch golfer, mate, I get better too, so I understand what you're saying. Hey, look, it was nothing short of impressive, the fact that it went on the whole duration.
Yes.
Even right down, as I mentioned, Mav, I don't know how much management went back into the final 16 minutes, but we saw the margin after Firthy's little whoopsie at turn 14 at 8.7, brought it back to about 4.5, 4 point something, whatever. I thought it was a great drive at the back end from both of you. You to drive with your eyes forward and manage the pressure for the whole race, because it did look like the Ferrari had some strengths and the weaknesses weren't as bad, maybe. And I think you did a great job to drive with the eyes forward. It's just as hard, I believe, to drive in that first position it is in the second. We often talk about the brake modulation that you get an advantage from in P2. So
Webley will vouch for that. It was good fun. I had full confidence in Firthy that he wouldn't do something silly.
Thanks, mate.
I'll say it was a bit of a workout, to be honest. 90-minute workout that was. So thanks, Firthy. I don't have to go to the gym tomorrow.
No worries, mate. I definitely didn't want it to turn into tears or anything like that. And these 40-year-old wrists are feeling it after that one. So, jeez.
Well, congratulations to you both, Mav. Well done on taking out round 7. A spectacular qualification lap there, 2:30, and a brilliant P2 as well. So congratulations to you both, and no doubt be talking to you again sometime in the very near future, likely to be Monday next week for one or both of you. So congratulations, and thanks for the interviews.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Cheers, boys.
Hey, boys. There you go, Dave.
Mav and Nick first there. Awesome little interview there with both the boys in the comms box. There's plenty of room to go around. J-Man, awesome call tonight. Good fun, plenty going on. A good race.
Mate, absolutely. Great call, Dave. It's, it's been a long time coming, 14 days away out of the booth. Really enjoyed being back, if you couldn't tell. So, anyway, I'll let you wrap the show up. Thank you very much to the viewers and all the sponsors and all the drivers that make this stuff happen. I'll sign out now. I'll leave it to my good fellow man, Davo, to wrap the show up.
Thanks, Glenn. J-Man, yes, let's obviously thank Grainlight Racing for bringing us all this goodness with their 2024 GT3 series, sponsored by Nortec Trek 31, Titanium Digital Solutions, Real Life Racing, Crossy 43, and broadcast by Match Fit Entertainment. Cracking race once again, calling it with the J-Man back in town. We will also thank our Patriot, Steve Crossland, Josh Nightingale, Uncle Joe, Louis Van Venter, Brandon Foster, Nick Firth, and Tinnis Venter. We are going to have a break. It is Easter Monday next week. I think there's a little short break. I think the boys might be doing some fun stuff, but we will see you back on the 8th of next month at Masano for another 90-minute race. Thanks everyone for joining us. That's us for tonight. Good night, everyone.
Hang on.